You, your business, and your community. We are ready to serve you in the areas of business litigation, intellectual property, health law, and products liability. SandbergPhoenix.com. The choice of lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, hit it.
Chris Ranji, Amy, Mark Scores. The Chris and Amy Show.
You know who it is.
Also, if you didn't know, this is called The Show.
On 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Good morning, friends. On a gloomy Monday, we are happy you're with us.
It's because
today.
it's the most wonderful time of the year.
Well, we're getting there.
Oh, it's just delightful.
Please join us today.
Delightful.
314-436-7900. There's our phone number. You know what to do with the phone number. You can watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We are at Chris Amy KMOX. A great way to watch the show is there. And also, you can vote in our stupid Twitter polls. We have lots of them. And we'll have a question of the week that we'll bring to you tomorrow, in fact. Also, the Odyssey app. You can stream us live there. You can go back and get the podcast later if there's anything you missed.
Time now for the top of the order. The top 3 stories everyone will be talking about.
Boeing machinists have rejected a 4th offer as they continue their strike. No end in sight.
And 2 suspects now have been arrested in the jewel heist from the Louvre.
Not a great weekend for the Missouri Tigers. They lose the game by just inches, and they've lost their quarterback, it looks like, for the remainder of the season. And the Blues, oh my God. What, Amy, what in the hell happened on Saturday?
So,
what?
As I mentioned last week, I had said on Offside Hockey with Curbs and Amy, Wednesday, 6 p.m., Matrix Midwest, I like big losses. I like big losses because big losses are an anomaly. They're an outlier. It doesn't say anything about your team and who you are. And I was so wrong.
Yeah.
I was so unbelievably wrong. Not since Dewey defeats Truman has someone been this wrong. Wow. It's not great. It's a struggle. Here's the thing. I'm not panicking and I'm not worried in the sense that this is a good team and they are going to turn it around. I'm a little worried that they keep losing the way they do in Detroit. For those of you who missed it, on Saturday, the Blues got off to a great start. 4 goals, a couple by Jake Neighbors, who's having an outstanding season. Pavel Buchnevich scored. Jordan Kyrou scored. You need those guys to score in order for the team to succeed. And then the Blues went on to give up 6 unanswered goals. They lost 6-4 in Detroit at Little Caesars Arena, and it wasn't good. I will say this, and I'm not trying to blow smoke here. There were, I would say, 3 goals, definitely 2, but 3 that were not totally the Blues' fault, not on Jordan Binnington. Really, really weird puck bounces, puck luck, as they call it in Detroit. But the Blues they look like they're scrambling. They look disorganized. It's not great right now.
So 10% of the season is over. It's not.
When you put it that way,
it's not. No. What I'm saying is, there's still 90% of the season left. So
10% sounds high to me.
Does it?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay,
it sounds high. Like holy cow, 10% of the season.
Yeah,
like 10%. Dude, these games flew by, and the Blues, they didn't just lose. They lost with 10% of the season. If you said 10% of this season would be horrible losses, I would say, oh, geez, 10%.
It does. I mean, when you put it that way, it does kind of sound like the season. It feels like the season started last week. And to realize 10% is good. So it's all about perspective. You can say, wow, already 10%. Or you can say, wow, there's still 90% left to go. That's the encouraging part, right? If you want to have a little bit of optimism on this gloomy Monday, you can say, while the Blues get ready to play the Penguins tonight, they are they still have most of their season to go. They have over most of their season to go. So look, I don't know, but the way they are losing games is very discouraging. It's not like they're losing close or losing late. When you're up 4 goals to nothing, you expect to win those games. And coughing those up, it makes me wonder are we looking at a thing now?
It's a thing.
Because hey, it's early in the year, it's only 10% of the season, no big deal. Come on, they're gonna find their groove, they'll be okay. But is it now, and has it already been a thing, the way they are losing? And if you know what I mean, a thing is a thing that might stick with you for an entire season.
Well, it better not be an entire season thing. Is it an early season thing? It absolutely is. And they're proving me wrong on my 2 favorite sayings. These are like sayings that I live by in life. And I know, they only apply to sports in certain elements, and it's any type of saying or cliche or analogy is like a toupee. It serves its purpose best from a distance, but doesn't hold up under close inspection. And I understand that. One of my sayings, which I said earlier, which is dress like a hobo or dress like a whore, but whatever you do, don't dress like a mid-level manager. That was a saying from Jonathan Adler. He's a designer. And I always thought that was great. So it's okay. You win big, you lose big. That's okay. We're going to be okay. Well, that has been proven wrong. Also, another one of my favorite saying is it's okay to fail, but if you fail spectacularly.
Well, you don't want that either.
Because it implies that you are trying something big. The thing is, the Blues are failing spectacularly every single game, and that is not a good trend. This is now a trend. This is now illustrative of some type of issue that the team is having. Again, they're a talented team. I do think they're going to turn it around. I am not worried. I play the long game. I don't panic, right? So I know they can turn it around. The problem is they are in the single most competitive division in the National Hockey League with the Mammoth, the Avalanche, the Jets, the Stars, the Blackhawks, Predators, Wild. The Blues are last. They have 7 points. The Mammoth are 8-2. They have 16 points. They're on top of the Central Division. And the Blues are third to last in the entire Western Conference. So if you fall behind, which the Blues have officially fallen behind.
Too far behind, which they have done before, and they have come back from it. I just don't want to count on having to do that again.
And also, you didn't have the Central Division that you have this year. This is the best the Central Division's been in really memory, my recent memory, and just like memory in general. And you can't you cannot secure a playoff spot in October, but you can pretty much lose one in October.
Let me say this, and I have used, I believe I have used this comparison before. When I covered the White Sox for years, there was when the Metrodome was still a thing. You guys remember the Minnesota Metrodome? It was that, anybody who watched the 87 World Series remembers that place was I don't know. It felt like every time you went into it, it felt like death. Something bad was going to happen. And players would not admit this during the season, but well after the Metrodome was finally imploded, a lot of players finally did say after the fact that every time they went to that building, for whatever reason, they felt like something bad was going to happen. And that's not a good thing when the players feel that way, right? Fans can feel that way watching the game, like, oh, God, they're going to the Metrodome. Something terrible is going to happen. They're going to be up 4 runs in the 8th inning and blow it. I just know it. I just know something like that's going to happen. But players started to admit that after the fact. What concerns me is that the Blues players themselves get into this place where they start to think, what's going to go wrong tonight? We're up 4 goals to nothing. What's going to go wrong tonight? They just scored. Oh, no, they scored again. Now we're letting it slip away. That's what concerns me, is that they get into that sort of mindset. So I need you to tell me that's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
Thank you.
It's not going to happen.
I need you to tell me that's not going to happen and mean it.
I mean it. I really do. I really, truly do know that this team is going to turn it around. I would like to see what Coach Jim Montgomery has said he wants to see. And that is they've got to work on effort execution, and I would say resilience now. They're a little, you could call it emotional. They get down right when things start to go down, when things start to go wrong, when they fall behind. I feel like they've shown glimpses of battling back when they were down 4-0 at home, and they got it to 5-4, and then Pius Suter had just kind of a freak penalty, which he batted the puck with his hand out of the faceoff. You can't do that. And then they gave up a goal on the power play or the penalty kill. So there are moments where they're fighting back, but overall they just need to be more consistent in effort and execution. They play tonight against the Pittsburgh Penguins, and that's not going to be an easy game because the Penguins, while older with Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin, that people thought, oh, this is kind of their farewell tour. They're killing it. So yeah, you're right. 6:00 tonight, they will play there, and we'll let you know. We'll let you know how things shake out tonight. Robert, watching on YouTube, asks, the Metrodome had the plexiglass in the outfield, did it not? Yes, they did for a while. If you remember the 87 World Series, I think there was a play of Kirby Puckett jumping up against and making a catch. But yes, oddly, at the Metrodome in the outfield, there was plexiglass. So in later years, they got rid of it, but they did have that for a long time. So we will talk Blues and more with Matt Pauley. We'll talk about that Mizzou game on Saturday. Ugh, that was rough too. Not only did they lose by inches, but they also lost their quarterback, it looks like, for the rest of the season. Amy went to a baby shower. She's got a question for us. Well, my sister-in-law went to a baby shower.
Oh, your sister went to a baby shower.
But I have a question for you.
Amy has a question for us.
People know I don't like baby showers.
Who does?
It's
the
like
only people who like baby showers are the people having the baby because they're about to get showered with gifts.
I think and other people who have had babies. It's a big baby crowd.
So Amy's got a question for us. We will try to answer it when we come back on KMOX.
When you want a brand new kitchen, there's nothing to it. There's a brand new way to do it. 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
Maureen talks about her experience using 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
I had for years been dreaming how I wanted my kitchen down to every detail. When 3-Day Kitchen and Bath came, they were thrilled to death that I knew exactly what I wanted. They came back with a drawing, and it was perfect. It was exactly what I wanted. They came in, they did their thing, and it turned out as perfect as I imagined it. The quality of it is beautiful. It's amazing. It is beautiful. They were efficient. They were trustworthy. The recommendations were unquestionable. And they were going to do exactly what I wanted. I had a lovely experience.
Start your remodel today by visiting 3daykitchen.com.
At 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
Hey, what's up, flies? This is David Spade.
Dana Carvey.
Look, I know we never actually left, but I'll just say it. We are back with another season of Fly on the Wall.
Every episode, including ones with guests, will now be on video. Every Thursday you'll hear us and see us chatting with big name celebrities.
And every Monday you're stuck with just me and Dana. We react to news, what's trending, viral clips.
Follow and listen to Fly on the Wall everywhere you get your podcasts.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/life.
Nobody had to tell your grandparents not to drive while using their typewriters. Why should it be any different for us kids and our cell phones? Distracted driving was the cause of more than 3,000 deaths in 2022. Come on, we're smarter than this. Let's put down the phones and focus on the roads. Drive safe, everybody.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Looks like we are definitely out of the massive heat waves that we received this year. But any week when it's 90 degrees during the day and 90 degrees at night is in St. Louis, the humidity is not comfortable and our bills do go up. With that being said, we're coming up in the winter months and this is the time that you want to get your furnace looked at and checked. It's inexpensive to have it looked at for your peace of mind. And this is also the time of the year where you'll hear during your furnace checkups that you have a bad heat exchanger or you need a new furnace. Call me if you hear that for a second opinion. You'll be happy you did. And it's one easy number in Missouri and Illinois. It's 314-293-2600. Or on the internet, Bart Inman. Now that is Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. And God bless.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
KMOX is now on 104.1 FM, the same great station with even better sound.
All right, so going to baby showers is like going to prison, where everybody talks like this.
But the people do not talk like that in prison. So what's your point?
That's what I said. I said it's like going to a prison where everybody talks like this. But as much as I can't stand baby showers or wedding showers, it's not just babies, just showers in general. I don't get it. I don't like the games. I don't like the celebrity guessing games or the toilet paper games. And I don't know.
I am happy to report. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Oh, gosh.
The toilet paper game?
Yeah, if you go to a bridal shower or a wedding shower, they give you like a stick and a rolls of toilet paper, and you have to like either make a bouquet out of toilet paper or you have to make an entire wedding dress out of toilet paper.
Did this happen one time at one shower that you saw and you just assume this happens everywhere?
It's a thing. It happens everywhere. It does.
Pajeski, ever heard of this?
The worst.
No. James, have you heard of this? James O'Sullivan doesn't know.
You guys don't go to baby showers.
But we know women who tell us about showers.
They don't
I've never
tell you
heard this.
about, like you have to literally go and like wrap up a friend in toilet paper. That's not the point. My point is.
Well, hold on. What?
Yeah.
You have to wrap up your friend in toilet paper?
Yeah, like you make a wedding dress.
Text in 314-436-7900 if you know about this toilet paper thing at baby showers. I've never heard this before.
Like you write on diapers or they have chocolate or fake poop in diaper. Like it's just so.
That could be fun.
Icky.
Like, which one's real? Which one's chocolate? Okay.
At any rate, this baby shower that my sister-in-law went to, I might have gone just because of the theme, the food theme. Look at outside. Everybody look outside right now. If you're at home, if you're in your car.
The food theme?
Yeah, look
outside. Was this guess which one's chocolate?
No, this was yesterday.
Okay.
Which looked a lot like today. Rainy, cold, chilly, fall day. It was soup and pie.
Soup and pie.
Soup and pie.
Sounds great.
It sounds amazing. Everybody like had all these homemade soup. So imagine all these ladies, including old ladies like grandmas who know how to make soup. All these grandmas bringing their homemade soup and also bringing homemade pie. And you eat it. I would go to that baby shower. That is I want to have a soup and pie party. Isn't that the best idea? Can you imagine right now if tonight after work you got to go to a soup and pie party? And when I say it, soup and pie don't necessarily go together. Like you don't picture soup and pie together, but separately. It sounds like a great party.
I went to a chili party on Saturday. Does that count?
That's pretty good.
Right?
But have you ever heard of a soup and pie party?
I have not.
Doesn't that sound amazing?
Well, yeah, I would just bill it as a soup and pie party and not a baby shower.
Right. But because it's a baby shower, aunts and grandmas and moms are going. So it's not just a soup and pie party with like Matt's bros. I wouldn't want to go to their soup and pie party. Hey. No offense. But this is a grandma and aunt and mom soup and pie party. Isn't that amazing?
Well, I don't know about amazing, but it sounds like a nice idea. I like soup. I like pie.
My bros would throw a great soup and pie party, by the way. You don't know my bros.
Your bros are good soup makers?
Oh, yeah.
And then the games come out. They want to play left, right, center. And
Jen?
Don't you hate that one?
I hate all those games.
Jen gets me. Jen is watching on YouTube. She said, I would rather go to the dentist for a root canal than to a baby shower.
I don't know if you want that. I mean, at least, I guess at least if you go to the dentist for the root canal, they give you the gas and you're out for a while.
Well, and you're probably getting something productive done. If you're going for a root canal, you probably needed one.
Can you say no to a baby shower? Am I going to get invited to my friend just had he just had the baby, I guess. So I don't really.
It's a girl thing, though.
And one of the great
Right?
inequities.
Hold on. No, isn't it a thing now where men are getting invited to baby showers?
They are inviting men more and more, but I would say the traditional is no. I mean, I have yet to go to a baby shower with men.
And the showers only happen before the baby comes, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But if it's like your second or third or fourth kid, they call it a sprinkle because you don't need as much stuff. Because the whole idea, right, of a baby shower is you have to buy all this stuff.
Yeah.
Because you're getting, like that person said, a little anarchist
So
who
the men
doesn't
have-
follow the rules of society. So you have to buy all this stuff.
The men have diaper parties.
Yeah, but I think it's like
I've done that before.
You just go get beer at a bar and bring diapers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of it. Because diapers are expensive, I'm told.
They're very expensive.
Okay.
I will say this: Annie Fry did do down the hall. She had like a diaper drive. Was it Annie Fry who did the diaper drive?
think it was.
Yeah, and thousands and thousands of diapers because they're very expensive. So kudos to her for doing that. But yeah, baby showers and wedding showers. It's you have to plaster a smile on your face and you have to raise your register. Oh my gosh, it's so cute.
I kind of wish you wouldn't.
Oh,
So
that's why I got in trouble. And somehow, how does everybody know you're supposed to wear a floral dress? I wore black jeans and a black crop top, which sounds terrible. I wasn't thinking. It was summer. It was like how I.
Well, it's how you dress in the summer.
It's how
That's
you like. If
yeah.
I were going out with friends, that's what I would wear, and it wasn't like, top. It was fine. It was a nice. It was a little short.
Wait, what? What was that word?
I don't know if you can say it on the air.
What?
The S word. For a
SH?
disreputable woman.
I don't know what you're saying. Just
At
say
any
the
rate.
word. Slutty?
Yes, that
You
word.
can say slutty on the
No,
air,
I didn't
Amy.
know. It sounds like a bad
Holy
word.
crap.
It wasn't.
Stop being a Puritan for 5 seconds. You can use words that regular
Well,
people
how
use.
can I
It's
be
okay.
a Puritan when slutty is the word I'm using to describe
There you go.
myself?
You just did it. See, it's fine.
But it
Well
wasn't
done.
a bad. It was a tasteful crop with really high trousers.
Okay.
I thought I looked nice, but my mom goes, "Please tell me you did not wear that to the bridal shower."
Yeah, you weren't going to a German nightclub. You're supposed to wear something that's
Yeah,
it's
floral- I
it's
don't own a
summer and
floral
it's
dress.
well, colors. You wear colors in the summer, don't you?
I don't.
No.
At any rate, see, I wear black in the summer because I sweat so much. I'm very sweaty.
Oh, you got that hyperhidrosis thing?
Probably. It's just
gross.
all over. Remember
It's
when I
gross.
wore khaki pants to the baseball game?
Yeah, don't do that again.
Oh, honey.
Yeah,
that's
that's
what the
not good.
woman behind me said.
Yeah,
I
well,
stood up and she went, "Oh,
Ew.
honey.
gross. It's very gross.
Don't wear
No
khakis."
more khakis for you.
I threw them away. I'm not even joking. They were khaki shorts and I threw them away because you can't recover from that.
This text message to 314-436-7900 says, this is why St. Louis is single. Because of the baby showers, they're doing these baby showers everywhere. Also, toilet paper dresses at showers are really
Yep.
a thing.
And look at another one. Unfortunately, the toilet paper games at wedding and baby showers is true. It does suck.
I have never heard of
Yeah.
this once in my life. And another
Yeah.
message, an astute listener to this show says, Amy just wanted to hang out with the grandmas.
Dude, you are not kidding. I love grandmas.
Yes.
That's who those are my people.
They are-
and grandmas. Grandmas and grandpas.
They are absolutely,
people.
they are absolutely your
If
people.
you've ever gotten up early for whatever reason, maybe you're going to the airport and you drive by one of those diners, and there's like 5 old men reading the newspaper, and you're thinking it's 6:07 in the morning. They've been up since 4. Those
Amy-
are my guys.
Amy has lunch at 9 a.m. and then she has dinner at 4. So
It's
she
time for
is
bed.
so geriatric. You should know that FanDuel is America's #1 sports book and that it is coming to Missouri on December 1st. And finally, you're going to have the chance to bet on all your favorite teams and all your favorite sports and even the teams you hate. Actually, sometimes it's really fun to bet against the teams you don't like. And it's a great time of year for it with professional and college football, basketball, hockey, you name it, and tons of ways to get in on the action with FanDuel. You can bet money line, over, under, bet the spread. You can bet on who you think will be MVP in a given season or who you think is going to win the championship. And there's live betting as well. So you can pick the player you think is going to score the next touchdown or the touchdown after that. And all you have to do is download the FanDuel app now by going to FanDuel.com/Missouri. That's where you get the app. And even though you can't quite yet use it, we're about a month away, just over a month away from you being able to use it, but you can get familiar with it in the meantime and see for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sports book. FanDuel, play your game. 21 and over and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey guys, Dave Glover here from the Dave Glover Show. So, what is my show? My show is 4 different people living 4 different lives, all coming together every day between 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. to talk about life, actual life, not so much headlines or did you see what Trump did today or XYZ. Never predictable because I never know what I'm going to talk about from one segment to the next. So it truly is unique and unpredictable. Join us.
104.1 FM, KMOX. Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
It really is the most wonderful time of the year. 49 degrees, a passing morning shower or two, otherwise clouds, a high of 58. Great soup weather tonight. Overcast and a low of 52. Weather sponsored by the Penn Mutual Life Insurance Company, PennMutual.com/STL. Are you considering life insurance? Penn Mutual's accelerated client experience makes applying for life insurance fast and easy. Ask your independent advisor or go to PennMutual.com/STL.
Hey guys, Kevin Wheeler here for 213 Complex, which is available at Supplement Superstores. A 213 Complex is simply the best all-natural weight loss supplement that you will find on the marketplace anywhere. First thing that it does, and this is the most important, is that it gets your metabolism working at optimal levels. Like 80% of the population has a metabolism that isn't working at that level, and 213 Complex gets you there. Now, it's not like something you're going to feel in the moment, but you're going to feel the results because you pull the belt and it's a little tighter. I found that out a couple of weeks ago, and it's easier to pull to those tighter belt notches because you're losing the weight. And of course, on top of the metabolism boost, you're going to get help with those cravings every day. You're going to get all day focused energy, no crash at the end of the day that comes with those energy drinks. And you're going to get lower cortisol levels, which can help with stress and sleep. And look, losing weight's not easy. If it was, everybody would be thin. But 213 Complex is the help that you can need to get a jump on the holidays or on the new year, whatever you like. Just go to Supplement Superstores. Tell them Kevin Wheeler sent you in. They'll knock 30% off 213 Complex. And you can find your location at supplementsuperstores.com.
I dared Archwell Health to keep track of my vitals and my grandkids' names.
I dared Archwell Health to simplify my prescriptions, so Max and I have more time to play. Good boy.
And I dared Archwell Health to be closer than my neighborhood coffee shop.
Our members dared us to do more as a primary care provider for adults age 60 and up. So we made it our mission. Visit archwellhealth.com and become a member today. Archwell Health. We dare to care.
This is Tom Becker with Climate Masters. We don't just sell air conditioners, we sell comfort. We sell solutions. We sell a job well done, and we fix bad jobs. Climate Masters, because you need someone you can trust. Someone who earns your respect and 5-star reviews. Climate Masters, selling high-quality Carrier air conditioners. Turn to the experts. Climate Masters, quality work for over 40 years. Just type in Climate Masters and give us a call.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
If you are facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
Hey, Dave, this is Susan L. Ward, and my law firm and I want to wish you congratulations on your 25 years with the show. I am really, really glad that you left family law practice to me, and here's to 25 more for you on radio.
The countdown to kickoff starts here. Friday's focus on Mizzou, the Chiefs, and the NFL, only on KMOX.
So text messages to 314-436-7900. Harambe has checked in. He's doing well, you should know. He says he went to a wedding last night, got home at 2 a.m., at work now, and he thanks us for keeping him alive. A Sunday wedding? What kind of monster are you, by the way?
Maybe they're saving money.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care if you were saving money. Why are you making me go to a wedding on a Sunday?
Well, What if it was a noon wedding and Harambe of his own volition stayed out until 2 a.m. and
Yeah,
had
you're
nothing
gonna
to
have
do with the wedding?
You're gonna have a wedding at noon on a Sunday? That's outrageous. During football season. What's the matter with you? Also, Santa Claus doesn't feel bad. I don't understand this text message, but I do.
Yes, you do.
What is it?
Because I said I didn't know if slutty was an inappropriate word.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Well, Santa Claus, and what I love about this text is they sent it in two parts. They sent Santa Claus doesn't feel bad when he says ho ho, and then follows it up with another ho.
Yeah.
Like he forgot all three of them.
Yeah.
We appreciate your text messages 314-436-7900. But there's been a development
There is.
at the Louvre.
So the prosecutor's office in Gay Palais has said on Saturday evening that they have made 2 arrests. Well, let me take that back. They have made arrests. I said 2. I must have somehow put that in because I've heard about 2 locations, but they made arrests in relation to the Louvre heists. One of the suspects was preparing to travel to Algeria. The other one was going to Mali. That's why I assumed it was 2 because they used the phrase one and the other, but they didn't necessarily say that 2 arrests were made. We just know at least those 2 were on their way. And the police can question them and hold them for up to 96 hours. So DNA found at the scene of the robbery led to the identification of at least one of the suspects because that little gang of thieves, they left behind a number of items, including some gloves that they were wearing, as well as those high visibility jackets that like construction workers wear. And remember that it said they had previously reported that they had dropped that crown. Remember the one from Empress Eugenie, the wife of Napoleon III?
Yeah, that on the way out, they dropped the crown.
Yes. And the Paris prosecutor says that was a premature disclosure of information related to the case and said that it actually hindered efforts to recover the jewels and find the thieves. They shouldn't have released that information, allegedly, according to the prosecutor. So this heist, man, has really captured the imagination of people around the world. I think ultimately, yes, it is very sad whenever history is destroyed because these were jewels from the Napoleonic era. They're priceless. They said, hundreds of millions of dollars, but also priceless when you look at the history of these jewels. And most likely they're going to break up all these crowns and necklaces and sell the gems, sell them for parts, as you say. On the other side of things, it is a fancy crime. And it's kind of crazy that they did it at like 9:30 in the morning because, as my friends pointed out, the French are very much committed to a work-life balance. They're not going to rob something at 4 in the morning. You have to get up, have your coffee, and then rob the Louvre. 9:30 in the morning. They're not going to do it in the middle of the night. Work-life balance, even for the criminals in Paris.
I would say that if you make away with all of those jewels, and you do it in the manner in which they did it, just
brazenly?
broad daylight,
Yes.
Walk in, walk out. You got to just let them go. It's a hell of an accomplishment. I think you just have to tip your cap. If these guys go in with these safety vests on, acting like they belong there, they walk in, they get the stuff, they leave, you got to just... you got to give it to them.
So
you got to give it to them. Let them go.
I wonder if they were inspired by Instagram/TikTok because I've always said, and actually a lot of Instagram and TikTok reels play on this joke. They've made a lot of reels with this joke that if you have a ladder, it's like 2 guys in a ladder, you can truly get in anywhere. And there were these 2 guys on TikTok carrying a ladder and they'd walk into movie theaters. They walked into sporting events.
Yeah.
You can literally walk in anywhere because you look official. So what these thieves did at 9:30 in the morning, they had the lift, the cherry picker, they had a ladder, they had their high visibility vests. This is the opposite
the safety vest
of the cat burglar dressed in black, right? They had the safety vests on. They walked right up. They used power tools to cut through the glass. So as we mentioned, they had the ladder up to the window. It's actually genius, and it's true. If you look like a construction worker, you could just walk up to the Louvre or wherever and steal these jewels. And that's why they were successful. It was so brash and so brazen.
Let them cook. Why would you do anything to these people? It's such an incredible crime and an accomplishment, Amy, that I mean, it's almost like Shohei Ohtani had that great game where he had 3 home runs and how many strikeouts? He had 10 strikeouts?
11?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Right, in one game. It's like, it's like going up to him and say, hey, we're taking 2 of those home runs away from you. No, you let him have that game. It was a spectacular game, and we should celebrate it.
And I've always said
jewel thievery, there are no victims in a jewel thief.
Well, because Eugenie is passed away.
Well, yeah, she doesn't care.
Napoleon, not really a nice guy.
Napoleon dead.
Well, he's not a nice guy.
He also
wasn't.
dead, doesn't matter.
Dead and not nice.
You didn't go into somebody's home. You went into an office, basically. It's somebody's workplace. You took some jewels. You went home. I think it's a fantastic crime.
And I will say this, like I said, I said this with the Charlie Brennan show years ago, pre-COVID even. Art crime is kind of fancy. It's kind of a sexy crime. Usually, I'm thinking of like paintings. Yeah, what if they were sitting there sipping bourbon, maybe wine because it's France.
Yeah,
right. Smoking a cigarette. You know what we should do? We should take the jewels. We could take 5, 10. It doesn't matter.
No, that's Jacques Pepin. If Jacques Pepin is if he is committing a jewel thief, they're like, well, which one should we take?
Maybe you don't know that it wasn't Jacques Pepin.
That he's too old. He can't get around. They're not having a man up there.
What if you Empress Eugenie? She was not very nice. Perhaps we take her necklace.
I think we do agree, right, that we should have let these people go.
Well, we is a strong term. I would say the Save Our Sheriff campaign, I could see how that campaign and the members of that campaign would be on board with the jewel heist.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's you.
I love everything about it.
I don't like history being destroyed.
Well, we know it wasn't Alfred Montgomery because he is not.
He's in jail.
He's not available.
So it's not him.
If it were him who put this whole thing together, like Daniel Ocean,
he gets to stay sheriff.
Yes, he gets to be our sheriff
How did
again.
This guy get to? He drove his golf cart.
He masterminded an entire jewel heist. Yeah, you get to be the sheriff still.
So, like I said, with art crime, they usually don't destroy the pictures, right? It's like they steal the picture and then they sell it somewhere. This one, I don't like destruction. So I am sad that they're breaking up all the jewels and gems. And that's why this art crime is a little bit different. But man, oh man.
We have different thresholds for sadness.
Yeah, you talk about just bold. And right, I mean, if I had to steal something from our boss's office, if I walked in a safety vest and a ladder, no one would stop me.
There's nothing in his office worth stealing.
So do you think
he does have a giant Adam Wainwright
bobblehead?
It's a huge Wainwright bobblehead. It's like 4 feet.
Tall.
Yes. I'm going to go into Steve's office and just walk out with it.
You could put a safety vest on the Adam Wainwright bobblehead. It'll look like he's part of the heist. But here's the thing. Do you think now that these heisters have ruined the ladder and high-vis vest for future heists?
No.
Well, what about all construction workers? Do they all look like suspects now?
No, we are still going to pay no mind to people who are doing that. Because it's part of the backdrop of everyday life.
I think now you look at every high-vis vest as suspicious activity now.
Never. No, it's part of the backdrop of life.
So the mafia, again, we're living in a 1920s movie because the mafia was caught gambling. There were 4 mafia families. You know how I'm not saying this. I'm just saying it's been said. Many people are saying, you know how the mafia, what do they do? Dispose of bodies in concrete?
That used to be the concrete shoes. Yes.
Why don't they just wear high-vis vests now? And they could pour concrete, get rid of all the bodies, and no one would know because they're standing there like they're supposed to be there.
Right. But you don't want to do that with a body. You don't want to draw attention to the body.
But no one's going to look.
Let's talk to Gene, who is calling in from Breeze, Illinois. Hey. Hello, Gene.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Great. What's up?
Well, I was just wondering, are you saying that if these criminals are caught, you would not prosecute them?
Oh, no, I wouldn't catch them in the first place. I would let them go.
Okay. So you're comparing them to a baseball feat that is
incredible
with... Yeah, it is, but it's not a criminal. It's not a crime, I mean.
What, baseball?
It is not a crime.
Well, what about
felt like a
stealing?
crime to
What
the
about
Brewers.
stealing bases?
What he did is amazing. What Ohtani did is amazing, and he has lots of talent. But what they did is a crime.
Well, what about stealing signs?
Are you
Gene?
condoning it? Are you condoning that?
No, I'm not. Not only am I condoning it, I'm celebrating it. It's different.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think that's wrong.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
that's
think
not
of how
a moral. That's
Gene,
not a very moral choice.
Gene, think about the level of difficulty of stealing millions of dollars worth of jewels in broad daylight.
But it's still wrong, is it not?
Aren't you impressed?
No.
Oh.
Because it's wrong.
Oh,
they
my
took
gosh.
something that wasn't theirs.
Yes. Yeah, it's pretty awesome, though. Think about how they accomplished it.
I'm not impressed.
Okay. Well, thank you for calling, Gene.
Not a problem. I hope that your audience feels the same as I do, that it's morally incorrect to look the other way. This is a crime.
That they
should not be compared to a baseball feat for sure.
Okay. Thank you, Gene.
Okay.
I wonder if we should put that to a vote on our Twitter account. We should have a poll.
Bet the Brewers felt like they had been victims of a crime.
Is it wrong to break into the Louvre in the middle of the day and steal millions of dollars worth of jewels? Let us know what you think at 314-436-7900. I think it should be celebrated. Don't you?
Well,
you know how hard it is to do that?
Listen, what I like about you is that you're consistent, because
Me?
I feel like someone who celebrated the sheriff, I think it would be hypocritical of you to celebrate the sheriff, but poo-poo.
I completely agree with you.
The Louvre heist.
I completely agree with
you, Ranj, because of your values, you celebrate the sheriff and the Louvre heist.
Mm-hmm.
Not hypocritical.
That's right. I am consistent. You know what you're getting with me.
That's right.
314-436.
Every day, Ranj.
Yeah.
He demolishes his own personal East Wing.
I don't, dude. The West Wing's gone too.
For some people, East Wing is a sheriff's office. For
Like
others, the East Wing might be a lack of education.
The East Wing, West Wing, Bat Wing, all the wings are gone. Gotten rid of all of them. It's Chris and Amy on KMOX.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Hey, just check the mail. We've been invited to a seminar and dinner is free.
It's going to be chicken, and it'll taste like Play-Doh.
Don't be fooled. All seminars are not the same. For example, Steve All, an investment advisor representative and founder of the All Financial Group, will be hosting his Taxes and Retirement Seminar at his office in Chesterfield on October 28th. From the big, beautiful bill to taxes on your Social Security, Steve will not only cover the hurdles you'll face in retirement, but ways to keep more money in your pocket and less in Uncle Sam's. This is a complimentary event, but seating is limited, so reserve your seat today. Call 636-230-8824 or online at yourmoneymattersstl.com.
You know, hon, I've always been interested in us buying a timeshare.
I'd rather eat Play-Doh.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, or registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions.
The DGS Halloween Show is back, and you can hear it first on Friday, October 31st, starting at 4 p.m. Hear all about their ghost hunting experience and all the thrills and chills the show experienced this year. And to check out the ghost adventures from the past 20 years, head to KMOX.com/Halloween. The DGS Halloween Show, presented by Lore Wine and Spirits. Try Ghost Tequila today, the perfect spicy spirit to bring your Halloween celebrations to the next level.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-269-3454. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-269-3454. 800-269-3454 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-269-3454 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-269-3454.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
At Bank of America, we asked our teammates, what makes this company a great place to work?
There's very little that you can't accomplish working for Bank of America.
If you prove yourself, you can try over in a totally new way.
You can learn so much here. You're the owner of your career.
See how our teammates are growing in their careers at bankofamerica.com/great place to work. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
Thank you, Missouri, for making Genesis of St. Charles your #1 and most trusted Genesis dealer for 2025. Thrilling offers for an unforgettable season are now here at Genesis of St. Charles. For a limited time only, get 0% APR for up to 60 months on all new Genesis models. You don't want to miss this one. These offers absolutely end October 31st. Visit genesisofstcharles.com today. Based on GMA sales records for 2024 on approved credit for Genesis Finance. See dealer for details.
Chris Ranji, Amy Marks Kors. The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Go on, take the money and run.
Chris and Amy Show. We are debating whether or not it is a crime to, or should be considered a crime, or should it be celebrated to steal millions of dollars worth of jewels from a very famous museum.
Apropos of the Louvre heist and what Ronj would describe as resourceful criminals who thought outside the box, showed up at 9:30, work-life balance.
Yes.
Showed up in high-vis vests. They weren't hiding. They weren't sneaking around. They weren't prowling, pulled up to the Louvre in a cherry picker lift and got the jewels.
You know,
and Ronj personally believes that it was a delightful event.
We talk so much about TikTok brain rot that our society is failing. Should we not celebrate cleverness? Let's ask Barbara, who's in St. Louis, calling in to the show. Hello, Barbara.
Yes, sir. They caught two of the criminals over in France, and they're being detained for 96 hours. They stole the crown jewels of France, and I was crying about it because I'm French, German, and I'm an American, and I was crying about it because they stole the emperor's Napoleon's second wife's jewels.
Yes.
And they stole the crown jewels of France, and they don't know if they'll ever get them back intact. And it's a shame for the French government, and the president of France is very upset about it.
I heard about that. Thank you, Barbara.
I bet the first wife doesn't care too much.
The first wife? Oh, Napoleon's first wife? Yeah. Well, Amy, she's passed on.
Yeah, but I mean,
she's passed on.
All of them?
All of Napoleon's wives are dead, yes.
Oh.
Okay, what is that? Scotland the Brave. It's not a good. I know this. Napoleon did not listen to bagpipe music.
You don't know that. You don't know. You don't know what Napoleon liked and didn't like.
Text message here says they are clever and bold, so they should just have them. The jewels they are referring to. And I totally agree. This message says, don't celebrate a crime.
Yeah.
It should be seriously punished.
Okay. What about this? This is an ethical question. I agree with this caller. Would Chris feel the same way if someone posing as a valet stole his car?
Okay. Let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
If jewels are stolen out of a museum that you don't live in and don't belong to you, how does that affect you personally? Now, in this case, this hypothetical.
What aboutism?
No, that's not whataboutism. It's a hypothetical, right?
How about
if somebody stole my car, I would not be able to get to work.
What if the car was
There's
your
no
crown
comparison.
jewel?
What? This text message says your hero is Robin Hood. Maybe if what if these people were going to take those jewels, sell them for millions, and then feed the poor?
Yeah, but why do you assume the thieves were poor? What if the thieves were rich? Then it's not Robin Hood at all.
Robin in St. Louis. I'm not kidding. Robin is calling in. Hello, Robin.
Hi, how are you?
Great. How are you?
Good. I'm just wondering, I was a banker for 40 years. How would you feel if somebody stole all your money and your stock in a most creative way? Would you applaud them or would you be upset?
Well, just to fix the hypothetical, how would you feel if someone stole Napoleon's money in a creative way?
That's a better question.
Well, I think to steal is wrong.
From Napoleon?
I protected people's money.
Yeah. Well, we
I
appreciate.
guess I'm coming from a banker's view.
Yeah.
That we always protected people's money.
Right.
And you seem to put a challenge out, get my money.
No, that's not what that means, Robin. No, it's
He
very
wants people
different.
to get
My
Napoleon's
name
money.
is Robin.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, of course, that probably would be wrong. But Chris, he celebrates it.
Yeah, no, I'm celebrating the thievery of jewels from a museum, not in somebody's home.
You would not celebrate if
Oh.
somebody was really smart and got at your money.
No, that's completely different.
I think like what about George Washington's money?
Yeah. Okay. What if somebody stole George Washington's money, Robin? That's different.
That's funny. I was just up in Mount Vernon, and I
Did they
think
do
he
it?
was a marvelous.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, thank you very much. We have a text from
Thank you, Robin.
Oh, thank you.
Bye.
From Big Blonde Dan.
Our
'Cause
guy.
I asked if all of Napoleon's wives are dead.
Yes.
And he said yes, all Napoleon's wives and all the horses from Braveheart.
They're all dead. The Braveheart horses have been dead for a long time.
texted me one time. We didn't talk. We didn't have the show yet, so we
Yeah.
probably hadn't talked in 5 months. And out of nowhere, Ranj texts me, "Amy, did you know all the horses in Braveheart are dead?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "What are you talking
Think about that.
about?"
All the horse, the
That's
actor, the horse
sad.
actors. Mark and Creve Coeur is with us on KMOX. Hi, Mark.
Yeah, how about if they go in and they take the Constitution and the Liberty Bell? And it was just a brilliant step. And they take the Liberty Bell, melt it down for scrap. They didn't take the Constitution and use it for paper, toilet paper or something.
Well, we don't know about the toilet paper, but we do know that Nicolas Cage stole the
He
Constitution,
already did that.
and it was very popular.
Yeah, that's
very
old.
popular.
It's hacky to
he
do
also
something like that
kidnapped
now.
the president,
He did kidnap the president.
and he stole the Declaration of Independence.
The
not the Constitution.
you're right. It was
Yeah.
the Declaration of Independence. Well, here's what I would say: the rules still apply.
Yeah.
Even if the document is stolen, the rules still
Because
apply.
Nicolas Cage didn't go to jail. He was
Did not.
celebrated, and he ended
Yeah.
up with $100 million.
Can you believe it?
That's insane.
Yeah. Thank you for calling in. We appreciate you. It's Chris and Amy on KMOX. Hour 2 of 3 is next. Who knows what's going to happen?
People are mad.
Don't steal the jewels.
It's the Medicare Advantage annual enrollment period, and Humana knows not everyone has the same needs when picking a Medicare Advantage plan.
Now that I'm retired, I want to enjoy the life I've worked hard to build. So I want a plan that covers me when I'm traveling the country.
Humana has a plan for that.
As a veteran, I want a plan that fills in the gaps my VA coverage doesn't provide, like dental care.
Humana has a plan for that.
I feel good about my health. I just want care and coverage with predictable costs. No surprises.
Humana has a plan for that. With a Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you get coverage and benefits that focus on what matters most to you. Learn more at gethumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO and PPO organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well,
I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
It's the most inspiring night in sports, the Musial Awards at Stiefel Theater. You can be in the audience for this nationally televised event from St. Louis. Named for Stan the Man, the Musial Awards celebrate those who uplift us through their extraordinary sportsmanship. Experience the remarkable moments and people that make this an event like no other. The Musial Awards, presented by Maryville University, Saturday, November 22nd. Tickets at musialawards.com.
Mid-America's most trusted voice for news. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Let Banner Construction show you what a difference James Hardy can make to your home. Banner's exterior design team will show you custom design options to transform your home into the neighborhood showplace. Banner is a preferred James Hardy and Pella Windows specialist. With winter just around the corner, now is the time to think about Pella Windows for energy efficiency and comfort. Call Banner Construction 314-569-1050 to schedule your free in-home consultation, or the website bannerconstruction.com, and have a banner day.
It is 10 o'clock. It is cloudy and gray outside, 51 degrees. I'm Debbie Monterey. The usually busy streets of Kingston, Jamaica are quiet, essentially empty, as a dangerous Category 5 Hurricane Melissa approaches. Here's CBS's Jason Allen.
The schools are closed here in Kingston. Government offices are closed as well. The police are out and patrolling the streets, but a lot of people, most people now, are staying inside until this storm makes its way over the island.
The U.S. National Hurricane Center says Melissa is bringing destructive winds and up to 30 inches of rain, the strongest to hit Jamaica in recent history. They're warning of catastrophic flash flooding and landslides. Tornadoes caused heavy damage in the Mississippi Gulf Coast towns of Goshen and Pascagoula, including these women who are just grateful to be alive after tornadoes hit their apartment.
Terrified, but I have my friends, family here. Praise the Lord.
Thanking God that we wasn't here. That's what I'm going to say. I'm thankful.
There's a chance for more severe storms today in parts of the Florida Panhandle. St. Louis County is moving ahead with its land bank, despite a Cole County judge striking down a law that makes it possible. County Executive Sam Page says he is encouraged by the Attorney General appealing the decision and says they must not let the promise of the land bank stall. In the meantime, the land bank addresses the county's thousands of vacant, abandoned, and tax delinquent properties. A Republican effort to make it nearly impossible for voter-led constitutional amendments to pass through the initiative petition process is getting pushback from the Missouri Association of Realtors. The group has filed a lawsuit asking a Cole County judge to rewrite the ballot language summary that will go before voters. The realtors suit says lawmakers are trying to trick voters, being intentionally deceptive by not mentioning the main purpose of the proposal, which is to require constitutional amendments to not only pass by a simple majority statewide, but also a majority in all 8 congressional districts. Voters in the past few years have legalized abortion, marijuana, raised the minimum wage, and expanded Medicaid, all things Republicans in the legislature opposed. The Business Desk, sponsored by Krentz Financial Group, KFGadvisors.com. Some Missouri realtors say the Federal Reserve's September interest rate cut has motivated some home buyers. Brian Jared tells Missouri Net some are now comfortable with the current rates.
Others are finally saying it's close enough to where I need to make that move. As that gap gets closer, they can justify giving up that low interest rate, going a little bit higher if they can do it. So that's why it's so important for those rates to come down. But that's where we're seeing a lot of the movement.
Missouri home sales are up nearly 7% over a year ago, with just over 6,500 homes selling in September. And the median price is at $280,000. That's up nearly 4% from a year ago.
Mainly cloudy, cool and damp this afternoon with a high of 58. Tonight, cloudy with spotty drizzle, low 52.
Tomorrow, cloudy and cool with a couple of showers, mainly in the afternoon, high 58. Expect more rain tomorrow night. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Cloudy and 51 degrees. The weather sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
In the 70s, baseball player Jerry Kelly decided to do something different.
Thanks for calling Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
This year, the company Jerry started decided we'd do something different.
Thanks for calling Jerry Kelly Heating, Air and Electrical.
And electrical.
JerryKelly.com. The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX and the free Odyssey app.
Chris Ranji, Amy Mark Scores with you on a Monday morning. And you know we love Rankin Jordan Pediatric Bridge Hospital. So does Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing. And we are all so honored to welcome in right now Madeline Hubbs, occupational therapist at Rankin Jordan Pediatric Bridge Hospital, and Erica Pfeiffer, Rankin Jordan's manager of outpatient therapy. World Occupational Therapy Day is today. You can find out more about that at rankinjordanfoundation.org. But thank you, ladies, so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. So I think people probably driving along are like, yeah, I know what occupational therapy is. But Madeline, for maybe people who want a clearer picture or don't know what it is, what exactly does your day look like? What do you do?
Yeah. I love to say that occupational therapists help clients and patients do what they have to do and what they want to do. And so with so many of our kids, I work on skills for patients, what they have to do, getting dressed in the morning, working on handwriting skills, but also I get to touch on what kids want to do. And so I get to do a lot of fun things like getting kids back to playing a sport that they want to play for, or working on skills, how to play.
So it's in some cases it's difficult for kids for whatever reason to be able to do all of these things. What are some of the various issues that you see that you're helping some of these kids through?
Yeah. I feel like a lot of our clients that we see are relatively complex. So we see so many different skills that we work on throughout the day. If you're talking about basic OT, I do a lot of skills like working on using two hands together, or helping kids who might have difficulties with sensory processing have a structured sensory diet in order to follow. But we also do a lot of these things through play. And so I get to work on all these skills by playing with our clients using our swing system, our amazing equipment. And the really cool thing that OTs get to do is work on how to adapt the occupations and their daily things. So I get to use a lot of adaptive equipment on the job.
And I think what's so important to note, too, is your unique platform and the impact you must have on the patients, because you were, since birth, have had one arm.
Yes.
So you've had to adapt and learn how to, like you said, do things you need to do and do things you want to do. Was that a slow process? Was it something where you, since birth, you were more used to that? How does that play out when you're growing up with that?
Yeah. I think there was many things that I was very blessed to be born without my arm, and because I never knew what having two arms was like. And so I had a lot of things that were easy for me to be able to figure out and adapt. But I also received a lot of care growing up in order for me to figure out. I also received OT as a child, which is such a full circle moment for me. And I really had a wide support community through my parents who learned skills with one arm so they could teach me how to do things as well.
Yeah. Is that why you wanted to get into it? Because you experienced it firsthand when you were a child?
Yes. Yeah. So I had OT growing up for many different reasons, but there was one key moment that I always like to say, that I was volunteering at a camp that was run by occupational therapists. And I got the opportunity to teach another girl who had one arm how to paint her nails. And so I put the nail polish bottle in cap in my mouth and I painted my nails how I've learned since a child, and I got to teach her that skill. And I knew that if I could have one moment like that throughout my career, of that awe moment of teaching someone a new skill, my life would be fulfilled, and I pursued OT. Yeah,
it's so amazing. And Erica, like as well with what you've seen with outpatient therapy, seeing what Madeline has done, I think for a lot of us, all you have to do is you have a sling for a little bit, or you have a pinched nerve and you can't use one arm for a while, and you realize how much you take for granted every day. All the skills that one has to learn when they have to adapt to having an issue with an arm or a leg, whatever it may be.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what's so special about Madeline is that she has lived through this journey, and now she comes and she's able to share her journey with our patients and with their families and just give a different kind of hope than any of the rest of us can. And the way that she collaborates with the families, with the patients, with her teammates to really provide a different lens into the care that we can provide these kids.
You know, Madeline, you said, and you were talking about how being born with one arm, that's all you've ever known. So it's been easier to learn certain things. What sorts of difficulties is it even possible to notice what your difficulties are if this is just all you've ever known?
Yeah.
And if there are, what are some of them?
Yeah, I always like to joke that the hardest thing about having one arm is putting peanut butter on bread or cream cheese on a bagel. I just want to stick my finger into the jar and spread it. So I always like to embrace those moments with humor. And I think it's one of the best things that you can do is learn to ask for help. And I think that's something that I can pass on to my patients as well, that if you need help with something, don't be afraid to ask.
How far has occupational therapy come in the past couple of decades or 10 years? And I say this because it's so fresh in my mind. I was just in Colorado and we were in Crested Butte, and a much longer story short, we hitchhiked from a trail with this young kid who had done some incredible hikes. He was in his early 20s and he was an occupational therapist in Crested Butte, Colorado, and he helped make mountain sports like how you can adapt to them for adaptive athletes, whether it's skiing or hiking or climbing. And I'm thinking, man, how far has it come?
Yeah. I think most recently, like the biggest thing with OT is dealing with adaptive equipment and teaching clients how to be able to use the adaptive equipment. And there's just so much technology that's ever growing. We do a lot on our team working with communication devices in collaboration with our speech therapy teammates and just like all the devices that are out there. It's so cool. And so it's definitely come a really long way. I know at the beginning OT was started just working with military veterans. And here we have just evolved into this beautiful field that has so many opportunities.
What about the availability of these resources for people who may not know that they need them or know they need something but not quite sure how to access it? Is there difficulty in doing that, or how can they easier do it?
So I think our easiest way to get kids the services they need is through their referring providers. So pediatricians, their neurologists, their orthopedic doctors. As long as they send a referral to us, they can get in for services and we can share all the different ways that we can help those kids.
So it's not like, I don't know. I'm assuming there are people out there that just don't know, right? They don't know what they have access to or what is available to them, right? Or is it because you have a doctor who tells you, then it's a little bit easier in that way?
I think now with social media, there's so many more resources out there that parents do go on and ask questions about how can we get these resources. And we have so many parents and caregivers in the community who help point people in the right direction.
When you are looking at outpatient therapy for Rankin Jordan on a yearly basis, how many patients are working with you guys throughout the year?
So we see about 13,000 sessions per year. And that's for physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy. Typically, we're seeing about 500 patients, but coming anywhere between 1 and 3 times a week. So a lot of kids that we're able to serve.
Yeah.
So you've been doing OT for a while, Madeline. Do you have any moments that really stick out with you? Somebody that you've helped that, maybe have come back to you later and said, you really helped me. You've done this for me.
Yeah. There's definitely a few kids. And when you think about handwriting and a kid being able to write your name, I've been able to help a few kids write their name for their first time and just seeing the joy in their parents' face. But I think one story that sticks out to me in particular is I was able to help a patient be able to access a computer and an iPad utilizing a mouse that they were able to operate with their mouth. And so being able to acquire those resources so that they could have access is really beautiful. And it's just overall increasing independence.
We spoke, a few months ago now with Kevin Korn, who the PGA golf coach, and how he's teaching kids to golf who have different challenges. And what they're able to do is amazing, because you would think that, I mean, golf is hard no matter what. And so the way Kevin Korn can work with the different patients has been awesome.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Kevin Korn helped with our summer camp this summer called Adventure Reimagined. So him and his partners with PGA Able came and ran a camp for our patients, just getting to play golf every single day of the week, which was just
so
really neat
fun.
to see.
Yeah.
Is there something in particular you'd like for us to pass along to people who might be listening?
I think overall occupational therapy is not many people know what it is. And so just understanding that occupational therapists, they can't just help you find jobs. I think that's the common misconception, but we do. We just do so many amazing things by helping others, like I said, be able to do what they want to do and what they have to do. And we do that through Play at Rankin Jordan, which is beautiful. And we have a wonderful team that thrives on collaboration. We do a lot of co-treatments with speech therapy and physical therapy. And I believe that's what makes us incredibly unique at Rankin.
Yeah, and I think just to add to that, at Rankin Jordan, we're really trying to serve each family and each patient for the needs that they have, and provide as much of a family-centered, individualized care as we can provide for each patient.
We encourage everybody to visit RankinJordanFoundation.org. Madeline Hubbs and Erica Pfeiffer, we appreciate you both coming in. Thank you for being here. And thank you for what you do, too.
Yeah,
thank you.
It's the Chris Cindy.
Play your game. 21 and older, present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much dollars in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Let me tell you about this new Pretzel Cheddar Club. Hey, I'm Carlos.
And I'm Ebony. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club
is the tangy Dijon with the pretzel bun. It takes it to a whole nother level.
It goes perfectly with the chicken and the cheddar cheese and the bacon.
Man, you know how much you love bacon. And I love the different varieties. Grilled, spicy, original. It gets you nice and excited for fall.
Order the Pretzel Cheddar Club with Cherry Berry and Sprite for a limited time on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Want to build income without a second job? Learn how real estate investing can help you create extra income one step at a time with Lifestyles Unlimited. Text radio to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
From Cardinals Nation to Chiefs Kingdom, from the Zoo to Enterprise Center, St. Louis turns to the Gas House Gang for the biggest stories in sports.
The Gas House Gang on KMOX.
It's must-listen radio at noon, hosted by Tom Ackerman, Chris Ranji, Mike Claiborne, and Bernie Nicholas. 4 of the most informed and trusted voices in St. Louis sports. The Gas House Gang, weekdays at noon on 104.1 FM at 11:20 a.m. KMOX. News, talk, cars. 104.1 FM KMOX.
This is part of the national anthem in Toronto before game 1 of the World Series between the Blue Jays and the Dodgers.
Series is tied at 1.
Series is tied at 1. They've had 2 games so far. And I will say this was one of the best national anthem renditions I've ever heard. Obviously, Whitney Houston, number 1. Then up for me, Chris Stapleton, number 2. And this was number 3. I thought it was so beautiful. I even texted my mom, Mrs. Mark Scores. I texted her and I said, "Are you watching this national anthem? It is so good." And she was. She agreed. I thought it was so well done. And afterwards, I was kind of wincing a little, like flinching, waiting to see if the crowd in Toronto would boo the national anthem. And they did not. Or at least if they did, the mics didn't pick it up. But I didn't read about anyone mentioning boos on Twitter or social media. So I don't think anyone booed. And I was so glad. Because I do think in the U.S. we probably would have booed. If Canada's prime minister had said, the United States belongs to Canada and we could buy you and we're going to put 100% tariffs on you, we would have booed.
When I realized that nobody was going to boo and didn't boo, my feeling was they're better than us. The Canadians are just nicer people than we are because we absolutely would have lit them up.
I'm glad
had the
they
exact
didn't
same
boo.
thing happen.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter to me if they boo or not. I feel like they have every right to do it if they want to and to be upset with us. Not the people here, because it's not the people, it's the government. They have every right to be upset with the way they've been treated and talked about by our president.
And I will say, like I said, my friend was at a conference not too long ago where George Bush and Bill Clinton spoke, but George W. Bush spoke about, and say what you will about him. I get it. A lot of people criticize him, but he spoke about the importance of relationships and allies. Canada is our friend. And you can't just, even if you want to enact a tougher policy, you can't do it in a way that's just bullying and just a way that puts down the other countries, because you need your allies. And the way it was done, or the reason it was done, because the Premier of Ontario had this ad about tariffs that used a Ronald Reagan speech on tariffs, I believe from 1987. Here's some of it.
When someone says, let's impose tariffs on foreign imports, it looks like they're doing the patriotic thing by protecting American products and jobs. And sometimes for a short while it works, but only for a short time. But over the long
So this
run,
is the voice of Ronald Reagan, because the president had said it was fake and the Reagan Foundation said, no, this is fake. It's not fake. It wasn't AI. It is from a radio speech that President Ronald Reagan gave back in 1987, I believe. But what they did do is they rearranged, some of these sentences. For instance, the beginning of the ad, which is when someone says they want to impose tariffs, that was like 2 minutes into the speech, right? And then another phrase was said a minute later, which you can understand how they were piecing those together, but it didn't change the meaning of the speech. It did not, which I watched.
Of what he was saying.
Yes, I watched
Right.
the entire speech. Also, yes, the ad didn't point out that Reagan gave his remarks after imposing tariffs on some Japanese products. This was because Japan had not followed through with a trade agreement that they had, and it was targeted to certain products. They were doing the cheap dump. Japan was of these chips that was driving up prices. And Reagan said, we talked about this. You're not supposed to do that. He imposed targeted tariffs in this instance on a certain item, which he did in order to increase trade negotiations because they actually did not follow through on an existing agreement, rather than the president seeing a commercial he didn't like and saying, I'm going to end all trade negotiations. This was to continue trade negotiations. So yes, I mean, I'm fine with saying those caveats, but it did not misrepresent the speech. I watched the entire speech.
And then also just to basically say, and then, you know, I'm paraphrasing here, but the spirit of what the president has been saying about Canada and a lot of our allies that we do have trade agreements with, you know, historical trade agreements, is that they're all stealing from us and they're all taking advantage of us, which it just really isn't true. And you can negotiate better if you want to, negotiate better deals, but to just come right out and say to our allies, about our allies, that they are all taking advantage of us, I think that's it doesn't do right by the country. It doesn't do right for us as a country. It does not help us out as a nation. And that's why I think and if you are Canadian, to take offense to that, dude, we would take offense to that. We absolutely would. If somebody from another country, if the president of another country or a prime minister were to say that about us, we would take the exact same offense, if not more. I think we'd have a greater reaction than Canada has.
And there is that vibe of braggadocio, right? Kind of that bully, we're the strong man. Trump loves a strong man. It's why he loves Putin, why he likes Xi Jinping. And it's worth noting that Reagan's special trade representative in 1987, when speaking about these very targeted and temporary tariffs,
and some of those can really be effective,
that Reagan used because Japan had already violated their trade agreement, an existing agreement. Clayton Yetter, I think is how you say it, said, Japan is a great friend, and we take this action out of sorrow, not because we want to demonstrate American machismo. We're doing it because we believe that it is the appropriate time and place for action of this nature. And I'm convinced that the government of Japan will now do its very best to reverse the situation and assure that the agreement is complied with. And so even an attitude that is going out of its way to say, you're a great ally. We trust in Japan's leadership. You need to go back, right? They're still asserting their strength, saying you need to comply with our agreement, is very much different than responding in the middle of the night on social media to a commercial that you don't like, saying that you're ending all trade negotiations. That's the opposite of what Reagan was doing. And again, Reagan's speech was not taken out of context. If they did reach out, several news stations, whether it was PBS or New York Times, reached out to the Reagan Institute, the Reagan Institute, and said, where did this commercial take Reagan out of context? And they did not give them an answer. They didn't respond. So they asked the Trump administration, where did they take Reagan out of context? And the Trump administration said, well, the Reagan Institute said they did.
Yeah, that's not good enough. I mean, you've got to give us specifics when it comes to something like that. And there's, tariffs can be done and they can be effective. It just needs to be done surgically and not heavy-handed, the way it appears to have been done.
And without machismo.
Without machismo. Is it better than, is that how you pronounce it? I thought it was machismo.
I think it's machismo.
I thought it was machismo.
Yeah, I thought it was machismo.
I don't think it's machis.
Yeah, because you're talking about being macho.
Yeah.
So why would it be machismo?
I think it's...
I don't think so.
2, 1.
Yeah.
Machismo.
It is machismo?
Thank you very much.
That doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Goodbye. Good night. Game over.
If the root word is macho, why would it be machismo?
Well, because the way you enunciate certain consonant combinations change when you change the suffix.
So I posited last week that the Canadian national anthem, "O Canada," is better than ours.
Well, you said it kind of rudely, though. You didn't have to be quite so brash.
What? I just said it's a better national
easier
anthem.
to sing.
And it sounds better.
More approachable.
It's more approachable. It's more accessible, and it sounds better.
Except Whitney Houston's American national anthem. Nothing will ever beat that.
I don't know about that.
Nothing.
I mean, it's look, Canada's great. It sounds good in pretty much every context. So you can also leave us a voice message on the Odyssey app whenever you get an opportunity. If you have something you'd like to say, like Tan had something to say about that.
Okay, 2 problems with our national anthem. Number 1, unsingable. Number 2, too long. Everyone agrees that the Canadian national anthem is far superior to ours. So here's the new U.S. national anthem. Oh, United States, glorious and free. Oh, United States, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, United States, we stand on guard for thee. That's the whole thing in a nutshell. That's the beginning and end of it. It's just that short. It's just that sweet. Everybody can sing it.
Thank you, Tan.
Wow, do you think he's in a barbershop quartet?
No.
He kind of had that warble. I think he could be in a quartet.
He did not. No, I think Tan is onto something, though.
Do you think Canada
would be mad? What if the national
mad?
anthem were 3 lines and that was it?
Well,
for thee.
That's very barbershop quartet-y.
Or
Matt.
his voice is cracking like mine does.
For
Matt is still going through puberty
Well,
at the age of 25.
What if, without saying anything, we just sang "Oh, United States"? Do you think Canada would be mad? Probably.
Well, you can't take their song.
Why not? Is it public domain?
Well, I know, but it's the spirit of it. You can't just take somebody else's anthem and put our words in it. That's not how that works. You can't sample a national anthem. You have to make your own.
I don't know. I think if it's been over 100 years, I think it's public domain.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could, but you shouldn't. You're ruining the whole spirit of what an anthem is. Although, isn't the tune of ours, wasn't it an old English pub
Drinking
song?
Yeah. Which, so, drink, chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug. I kind of like that.
Let's talk some sports. Speaking of the World Series and the Blues, oh my God, what happened on Saturday? They'll play tonight. And then what's going on with Mizzou? Missouri football with a really tough loss, and they have lost their quarterback for the season, it looks like. So a difficult weekend here in St. Louis, in Missouri. We'll talk to Matt Pauley, the host of Sports Open Line, when we come back on KMOX.
This month's Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight, we are discussing breast cancer with Dr. Debbie Bennett.
It's a great reminder to take care of yourself. I think people are so busy throughout the year taking care of everybody else. Seeing all the pink around in October is a really excellent time to take a step back and make sure that you are here to continue taking care of everybody else for a very long time.
Thanks to Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. For more information, visit siteman.wustl.edu.
Debt payments keeping you up at night? Credit cards, medical bills, personal loans. If you owe more than $10,000 in unsecured debt, we can help you settle for less. At JG Wentworth, many clients cut their debt by up to 50% before fees, potentially saving thousands of dollars. Even if your credit is damaged, we can help. And remember, you don't pay us a dime unless we reduce your debt. Call 877-CASH-NOW. The call is free. The consultation is free. And the bigger your debt, the more we can help you save. Act now. If you owe $10,000 or more, call 877-CASH-NOW. That's 877-CASH-NOW. Call right now. Your path toward financial freedom starts today with JG Wentworth. 877-CASH-NOW. Results vary. Not all debts qualify. Debt resolution impacts credit and may increase what you owe. Average savings before fees, 43%, 25% after fees. JG Wentworth does not pay debts or provide legal, tax, or credit repair services.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
Well, it's spitting outside, at least outside of Studio B. It's spitting a bit. 49 degrees, a passing morning shower or two. Otherwise, cloudy, a high of 58. Tonight, overcast with a spotty drizzle, a low of 52. Weather sponsored by SNL Coins.
SNL Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold-filled and silver plates. Before you sell, call SNL. 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. SNL Coin.
Hi, Stacy with Fairwinds Rivers Edge Senior Living in St. Charles. Are you a senior seeking a fun retirement? Do you want less work and more play? Do you want to enjoy great food that you don't have to cook? Then I know. Stop what you're doing right now and call Fairwinds. Set up a time to visit and have a meal. Meet some of our awesome residents. Check us out online at fairwindsriversedge.com. We hope to talk with you soon.
Attention business owners with a net income over $500,000. You need to work with a tax strategist that understands your entrepreneurial mindset. Download the most recent white paper written by E3 Consultants Group titled The Power of a Professional Tax Strategy Team. Go to e3wealth.com/radio to obtain a copy. It's time to learn about wealth and tax strategies that protect your personal and business economy. E3 is ready to help you think differently about your finances. Educate, empower, enlighten. That's the E3 difference.
Hey, it's Matt Pauley for i3 Broadband, the internet provider in the Pauley household. I think you'd love it if you had them as well. We've got the 2 gig package at our home, 2 gig upload, 2 gig download mirrored, and we're spending less money than we did with the cable company for lesser service. Plus, right now, they've got savings over $400 beyond their already low standard pricing. You got questions? They've got answers. Call 877-976-0711, and they've got people there who can answer all your questions, or head to their website, i3broadband.com.
Hey guys, Dave and Rach here for our good friends at Smart Mouth. So it is unique by the very definition of the word. It's the only mouth rinse out there with 2 chemicals that combine to prevent bad breath for 24 hours a day with just 2 rinses a day.
Never have bad breath again. You can find Smart Mouth locally at Schnucks and Deerbergs or at Walgreens, Walmart, and Amazon. Visit smartmouth.com to snag a special discount on your next Smart Mouth purchase. That's smartmouth.com/Glover.
Sponsored by Progressive. We make the claims process easy so you can get back on the road in no time. It's why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive. See for yourself at progressive.com.
Fridays mean football. From the zoo to the NFL, we've got your weekend covered.
On 3, ready?
It's Friday football on KMOX.
Swing and a high drive to center field. Get up, baby. Get up, baby. Get up. Oh, yeah. David Freese has just sent us into game number 7. This series is tied 3-3 with a walk-off home run here in the bottom of the 11th inning. The Cardinals win it 10-9.
14th anniversary of the Game Freeze, what you call it, Game Freeze, the David Freese Game 6 day. Wow, that was a fun one. Also, it's the 40th anniversary of the 1985 World Series Game 7, which is not good. We'd like to forget that one. Yesterday was the 40th anniversary of the Don Denkinger game.
I went most of my life thinking the Don Denkinger game was the final game of the World Series because that was, no one ever talked about anything after that moment.
Nope.
I thought the Cardinals lost the World Series on that call.
Kind of like the Steve Bartman game everybody remembers.
Yeah.
That was not the final game of that series. There was a Game 7 after it. So, yeah, this is a pretty historic day, last couple of days, and we talked to Matt Pauley, the host of Sports Open Line, Rush Hour Sports, which is at 5 o'clock every weekday when there's not a sporting event that is in the way. Also, Cardinals pre and post game. Matt Pauley, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Yeah, we're fine. So we're going to get into Blues hockey and Mizzou football because that was a rough Saturday sports wise for us here.
Yes, Illinois lost as well.
Yeah, Illinois lost. Yeah, they got it handed to them.
And I was rooting for the Blue Jays, and they lost.
Saturday 1-1 going back.
Saturday went from being a great sports day for me to a sad one. Everybody lost.
Yeah, but Game 6, how about that?
I mean, that's one of the great moments that in recent history.
So, Matt, I used to listen to Mike and Mike religiously, and I remember turning on Mike and Mike the morning after that game, and Mike Greenberg said it was the greatest game in baseball history and maybe the greatest game in sports. And obviously recency bias because it just happens and there's a lot of emotion. But I do think that says something. I mean, he has no St. Louis ties. He has no reason to be that devoted to David Freese or the Cardinals. I just thought that does say something about that game. When you have a national sports guy like that, saying just how incredible that moment was.
Yeah, it was one of the most special things I think any of us have ever experienced, just watching it. And I can remember living in Colorado at the time and like most people, I'd kind of given up on the idea of the Cardinals winning that game. And then for it to go down the way it went down, and all you got to do is say Game 6 and people know what you're talking about. So it's a really, really good memory and something that hopefully we can see more of in the future at some point, some version of that.
All right. Blues had a 4-goal lead on Saturday. They coughed it up. Amy and I talked about it at the start of the show today that, worried about it becoming a thing. Amy says it is already a thing. But what my concern is that players start to think, what's going to go wrong tonight? We're not there, are we?
No. And it's still obviously early, and this is a good team. I lament the fact that there was so much focus on this team going and having success in the early going because of how many home games they had. And they won one of those 4 games on that 4-game homestand. And then they went on the road, and you thought everything was great when they're up 4-0. You had 2 goals from Jake Neighbors. You had a power play goal from Kyrou, a power play goal from Buchnevich, and then it just fell apart. And I listened to Jim Montgomery talk after the game, and he was asked, "Well, did Detroit change anything?" And he said, "Basically, no. Like, they pinched the defenseman a little bit, but basically, no. This was about us." And this cannot become part of this team's DNA. They have to get playing better hockey quicker, and I don't think we're there quite yet, but I think it does start to open up the door for us starting to have those questions again about the core group of this team is the same group that has done some things that got Craig Berube fired, that were uninspired under Drew Bannister. You felt that maybe with that run at the end of the season last year and them getting to the playoffs, that was in the rearview mirror. But then the way they're playing right now, there are unfortunately some similarities, and there seems to be more passionate passengers than drivers at this point on this team.
I like what you said about the team cannot let this become, a response or an acceptable part of their DNA. Honest to goodness is what I like in it too. If you are stressed, or if you're running or getting a hard workout, right, people can throw up from those things. And I swear, every time you throw up because of stress or because of a hard workout, it's like your body thinks, well, this is an acceptable response. And so every time I've worked I've had a run where I feel sick and I feel like I'm going to throw up, I will not let myself get sick because I'm like, this is not an acceptable response. I will not let my body let this become part of my DNA. And that's what I feel like this is. I mean, the Blues are throwing up. It's like this is what we do. And they somehow have to stop that response because you're right, Matt. It was part of their DNA at the beginning of last year. Jim Montgomery helped turn things around, and it's like they're reverting back to it.
Yeah. And there's not a lot of room for margin for error with where they're at, both from a conference standpoint and from a division standpoint. This team was likely to be a team that's competing for a wild card. Again, lots of hockey left. They're going to go on a great winning streak at some point in time this year. Stuff's going to look better, but it doesn't look good right now. And some startling things are happening in some of these games, whether it's coughing up a 4-0 lead, whether it's being down by that much early on like they were in the Utah game, whether it's just not putting the effort on the ice that you need to put out on the ice like they did against Los Angeles. I mean, just startling red flag things are happening way too often.
All right, on to Mizzou, who had an opportunity at the end of the game for a Hail Mary to tie it and send it to OT, and they connected on the throw, but they fell, 3 inches short of the goal line?
Yeah,
I mean,
like that.
Just an incredible finish, and then also they have lost Bo Pribula, Pribula for the rest of the year, which is, equally devastating. So that was a really rough day for Mizzou.
It was. The news that came out yesterday on Pribula was a little bit more encouraging than what it sounded like on Saturday, so that's good. There's not a break. There's a possibility that maybe he could be back towards the end of the regular season. The first indication was that maybe he would be back if they got to a bowl game that was worth him playing in it, or if they somehow still got to the college football playoff. I thought Matt Zollers did a fantastic job. The quarterback play actually got better when they went from Pribula to Zollers. Zollers was, from a statistical standpoint, he was the best quarterback that played in that game. tough way to lose. I mean, when they were going through that replay there at the end, it's like, why does this even matter? Even if it's a catch, it's not a touchdown, and the game is over. But unfortunately for Mizzou, one of the narratives that continues to pop up is anytime they have an opportunity to win a game like this, they're not winning it. That was a chance to beat a top 10 team on the road and really put yourself in a good position for the college football playoff. And instead, they end up losing. And one of my big things recently is Coach Drinkwitz has done such an amazing job with this program, and he's raised it up. It is okay for us to hold them to a certain standard, and that standard is you got to start winning some of these games, and an unfortunate loss all the way around. And now all of a sudden, I mean, their schedule of their last 4 games, they're going to play Texas A&M. Texas A&M looks like the best team in the SEC right now and a legitimate national title contender. And then they're going to have to go to Oklahoma, and that's not going to be an easy game either. Their other 2 games they should win. I think it's Arkansas and Mississippi State, but they've still got 2 really, really tough games on their schedule in front of them.
So what does this mean for their CFP hopes?
I think if they win out, they still have a very, very good chance of being in. I mean, when you look at their resume overall, the losses that they have are against pretty good teams. So if this is a Missouri team that finishes out the year with wins against Texas A&M and Oklahoma and finishes with just 2 losses, what that'd be a 10-2 season and a 6-2 SEC record, I think that would be likely good enough to get them into the college football playoff. However, I don't think they're going to win all those games. When you look at, they've got 2 very losable games on the schedule with Texas A&M and Oklahoma. If they're a 3-loss team, that's where the question starts to present itself. Do they get into the college football playoff? I was having this conversation with somebody from Saturday Down South on Sports on a Sunday Morning yesterday, and my contention, and this isn't fair, but my contention is, yeah, there might be a 3-loss SEC team that gets in the college football playoff, depending on what else happens. But I have a really hard time believing that with the Mizzou sticker decal on the helmet, that they're going to be judged and viewed differently than if it was an Alabama or if it was a Georgia or if it was a team like that with 3 losses. So another loss might do them in.
Would be really interesting. We'll be really interested to see what the CFP, the initial CFP ranking is. That comes out next month for the first time. Right now in the AP, Mizzou drops to 19. They are 20 in the coaches poll. The Fighting Illini have dropped out of the top 25, by the way. So let's real quick talk about World Series. Series is tied at 1 now. Game 3 is tonight. Yamamoto for the Dodgers. Another complete game. Unbelievable.
Yeah. That 12-year, $350-75, whatever it was, $1 million contract that he signed with the Dodgers is looking really, really good right now. And for the Dodgers to be doing this with their starting pitching, something that we haven't really seen. Like we have seen teams go away from starting pitching, going deep into games in the playoffs. Well, the Dodgers just don't have a very good bullpen, and they've got all these starting pitchers that have the ability to do this, and give them credit. They're going out and doing their job. It's been a lot of fun to watch. I like the first 2 games were fun. You know, with the first game, you had the Blue Jays putting up that 9-run 6th inning and getting the pinch hit grand slam and everything. And then Yamamoto with the pitching performance in game number 2. This has been a really enjoyable World Series, and I hope it continues that way.
Oh, good Lord. Matt Pauley, we appreciate
it helps
you.
To turn your mic on.
Well, I did, and then sometimes I do it, and it goes right back off. Matt Pauley, we appreciate you.
The radio gods are saying, we don't want to hear Ranji.
That's
what are we doing here?
As long as I don't get paid, as long as I get paid, I don't care. Like, you know, it doesn't matter.
You get paid?
You're not doing this for free, are you?
No.
Oh, no. Matt Pauley, we appreciate you. Monday Night Football tonight. So the Chiefs playing against the Commanders. They are favored by 1 million. So yes. I imagine KC wins tonight. But because of it, what's the sports situation for you tonight?
Yeah.
Rush Hour Sports with Kevin from 5 to 6, and then that'll be it for me.
Because Blues game, Monday Night Football, and Game 3 of the World Series.
Good sports night tonight.
It is a good sports night, but be tuned in to KMOX for Chiefs football.
Matt Pauley, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Yo, Paulie, you
This is with me. I'll call you back later. See ya.
That's right. You can listen to Chiefs football tonight against Washington. That will be after Rush Hour Sports at 5 with Matt and Kevin. And there you go, right into Chiefs football. So we hope you'll be listening in on 104.1 FM KMOX. Did you see this? Is next.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
I'm Missouri Attorney General Catherine Hanaway. Fraud and scams can strike anyone. My office works to ensure that Missouri is free from deception and unfair practices. Last year, we handled over 65,000 consumer complaints and returned more than $400 million to Missourians. If you've been a victim of fraud, call 800-392-8222 or visit ago.mo.gov.
Paid for by the Missouri Attorney General's Office.
Thank you, Missouri, for making Genesis of St. Charles your #1 and most trusted Genesis dealer for 2025. Thrilling offers for an unforgettable season are now here at Genesis of St. Charles. For a limited time only, get 0% APR for up to 60 months on all new Genesis models. You don't want to miss this one. These offers absolutely end October 31st. Visit genesisofstcharles.com today. Based on GMA sales records for 2024 on approved credit for Genesis Finance. See dealer for details.
Red Kingdom is back at FanDuel Sports Network Live in Ballpark Village. See every game on the largest screen in town. Don't forget about the $25 buckets, $5 cocktails, and the best tailgate food around. Grab your friends along with KMOX and huddle up for the games at the best watch party in town. If you can't make it, but don't want to miss a down, listen to the Chiefs on KMOX or KMOX on the Odyssey app. For more info, KMOX.com/events.
House stealing. It's a nightmare that's real. It's the FBI's term for thieves stealing your home's title and draining your equity. Just one fake document filed with a recorder, and scammers can own your home on paper, drain your equity, and do it all without you even knowing. Imagine waking up to a foreclosure or eviction notice. Listen to former title thief Matt Cox.
What people don't realize is the ease in which this crime can happen. I can take the deed to your house and I can transfer that deed into my name. It's a great crime, and it's happening all the time.
So how can you stop the nightmare and protect yourself? Find out if you're already a victim now at HomeTitleLock.com. Use promo code RADIO and get a 30-day free trial of their $1 million triple lock protection, a title scan, and access to a title specialist, a $250 value. Don't wait. Go to HomeTitleLock.com now, promo code RADIO.
Are you an HR manager, business owner, or leader looking to retain your best people? Nearly 1 in 4 employees is caring for an aging loved one, a challenge that often leads to distraction, absenteeism, and costly turnover. The CARES program from Age Smart Community Resources connects your employees to expert caregiver support, helping them stay focused and productive at work. Discover how CARES can boost retention, improve ROI, and cut costs for your business. Visit hsmart.org or call 618-222-2561. Proudly serving 7 counties in Southwest Illinois. If you need a new garage door, this could be your lucky day. Entries are now open for the $5,000 sweepstakes at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. The winner will be chosen at random to receive $5,000 towards new garage doors, openers, or front entry doors of their choice. Deadline to enter is the end of the month to win the $5,000 sweepstakes with Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Enter now at overheaddoorsstlouis.com. You can't win if you don't enter at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
Fall is here. Baseball, beautiful weather, and the changing colors of trees and shrubs. When you think of your trees, call family-owned Gamma Tree Experts. Fall is a great time to prune and fertilize your valuable trees. Our staff of certified arborists will survey your trees to determine their needs. Knowledge and quality are hallmarks of our reputation. Call Gamma Tree Experts at 314-725-6159 or visit us at gammatree.com. Your trees deserve the best care.
I dared Archwell Health to keep track of my vitals and my grandkids' names.
I dared Archwell Health to simplify my prescriptions, so Max and I have more time to play. Good boy.
And I dared Archwell Health to be closer than my neighborhood coffee shop.
Our members dared us to do more as a primary care provider for adults age 60 and up. So we made it our mission. Visit archwellhealth.com and become a member today. Archwell Health. We dare to care.
The Chris and Amy Show is video streaming now on KMOX's YouTube, X, and Facebook pages. Click and subscribe. Now, did you see this? With Chris and Amy.
Do either of you eat lunch meat and like sandwiches and so forth?
Sometimes.
Have you noticed how expensive it's getting? I have.
Oh, a lot of things are expensive right now.
I used to, and then I stopped because I heard about the boar's head stuff and I stopped eating it.
I know. I haven't. The listeria.
What's the boar's? Oh, the listeria.
It was
thing.
bad.
Yeah.
I haven't eaten lunch meat either. Also, it's just too processed. At any rate, if you thought lunch meats were getting more and more expensive, you're right. They had the largest monthly increase on record last month. 4.2%, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. So they did say that last year's listeria recalls did hurt that sector, obviously. However, the current price increases are more directly attributable to A, record U.S. beef prices. Did I say A? B, smaller domestic pig and cattle herds. C, a worker shortage, and D, President Trump's 50% tariffs on imports from Brazil. The American Association of Meat Processors has a spokesman, and that spokesman says that everybody has to raise prices along the food chain. It's a ripple effect, and lunch meat for your kids' sandwiches is really expensive right now.
Yeah, and it's obviously not the only thing that has gone up. A lot of things have gone up. And we talk a lot about coffee. Coffee has gone up considerably. If you try to order coffee from a place,
oh my gosh,
man, you're starting at like $7 sometimes. It's nuts.
So,
absolutely crazy.
I was talking to a friend who had just traveled to Savannah, Georgia.
Yep. And
the friend said they got coffee at Starbucks there. Not really a Starbucks person, but they got a grande pumpkin spice latte. $8.42.
Grande's not the big one either.
No.
That's like the mid-size.
I haven't paid $8 for a latte,
yeah.
So I don't know if Georgia's more expensive or what in the world was going on, but $8.42. It's like a meal.
You think we'd be paying more attention to the fact that everything is expensive now, but for some reason we're not. Did you know, Amy, that Katy Perry and Justin Trudeau are a romantic item?
I forgot.
Yep. On Saturday night,
dude,
they went out on a date in Paris, France to celebrate Katy's 41st birthday, according to TMZ.
It
is
hilarious.
Their first official outing. They went to a cabaret show at the Crazy Horse Paris.
That makes me want to boo the Canadian national anthem.
Why?
Because she is not someone to be taken seriously, and Justin Trudeau now isn't either.
Well, he's not a politician any longer, and she's a lady. Seems like a nice lady.
It's such a funny pair, because if he ever pretended to be serious or smart, I just feel like neither of those things are true. You can't date Katy Perry, this is so mean, and be that serious or smart, because she's an interesting cookie.
Declaration by you.
Well, I don't have the muffin bra that shoots out icing, but maybe he likes that.
Well, I mean, she's an entertainer.
She certainly is.
Yeah. I mean, good for him. Good for the two of them. I hope they find love like Travis and Taylor did.
I'm sure he'll entertain her.
So also one other thing. Did you see the story about a New York police detective, Alicia Stone, who died a week after undergoing a Brazilian butt lift surgery in Colombia?
So I've actually heard of these cosmetic surgeries in other countries that go wrong.
Yeah, I would not do a butt lift. Why would you? Come on.
You don't need one.
You don't need a butt lift, right?
Well, I could see how somebody wants one. Probably. I don't know. Does it make it bigger or does it pull it up?
I guess whatever you want it to be.
I thought it made it bigger.
Well, it's not butt implants, which is totally different, and you should never ever do that because that looks stupid. Yeah.
Didn't you see the one like Cardi B and like Megan?
I don't know if they have.
Cardi B, one I think, or Nicki Minaj.
Did she?
She talks about it. Yeah, some rapper I remember.
We have tickets to give away to see Joe Bonamassa. We're going to do that before the show is over today. You need to be listening for your chance to win, and we will give away tickets all week. So incentive for you to be listening into the Chris and Amy show. Hour 2 is coming up next, and we will speak with White House correspondent for the Bulwark, Andrew Egger. The St. Louisan joins us next on KMOX.
DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is coming soon to the Show Me State. New Missouri customers can download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today. And when we go live, place just a $5 bet to unlock $300 in bonus bets. Starting November 17th, you can create your DraftKings Sportsbook account in Missouri and get ready for launch day on December 1st. DraftKings Sportsbook brings you everything you need to elevate your game day, including live in-game betting, lightning-fast payouts, and endless ways to get in on the action, all right from your phone. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and grab $300 in bonus bets with just a $5 bet when we go live December 1st. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details. News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. I've been asked many times how Morgan & Morgan became the largest injury firm in the world. I think I know. When someone comes to us for an on-the-job injury, we have a huge workers' compensation practice. But many times we find a defective product that was responsible for that injury. Luckily for them, we have a product liability section headed by my son, Mike. In addition to the comp case, there's a product case too. Other times, the injured worker is fired or harassed for bringing that claim. We have them covered. Our employment lawyers handle retaliation claims as well as wage theft and discrimination cases, and in some cases need to file for Social Security benefits. No problem. We became big for a reason. 30% of our new cases come as referrals from former clients. Hiring us is easy. Go to forthepeople.com on your mobile device or computer, or call Pound Law on your cell, pound 529. Morgan & Morgan. Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
It is 11 o'clock. It's kind of a dreary morning out there. It's 52 degrees and cloudy with some drizzle in the region. I'm Debbie Monterey. Hurricane Melissa strengthening into a Category 5 storm as it draws closer to Jamaica, where forecasters say it will unleash catastrophic flooding, landslides, and widespread damage. Notices of rising health insurance premiums landing in voters' mailboxes and sending some to town halls to vent their frustrations. Republicans have offered few answers, saying they will not negotiate until Democrats end the government shutdown. Meanwhile, the USDA says federal food aid will not go out November 1st as the shutdown drags on. The Trump administration saying it will not tap into roughly $5 billion in contingency funds to keep those benefits flowing. Trump blames Democrats and said earlier he would cut Democrat programs. We make the switch from daylight saving time to standard time on Sunday. Sleep medicine specialist Dr. Neil Walia says this will help us get to sleep at night.
If you're getting bright light in the evening, it delays your circadian rhythm and it makes it a little harder to go to sleep at the time we want to. So when we go back to standard time, that's more in line with what our bodies should be wanting.
Daylight saving time ends for the year on Sunday, November 2nd. Of course, at 2 a.m. local time. Most of our clocks, fortunately, will switch over themselves, but you'll figure out which ones don't. St. Louis police homicide detectives have been called in for the death of a man. The authorities are not yet saying how this person died. The man was found dead about 9:30 this morning in the 4100 block of Labadie. Experts concerned that AI is taking sexuality too far. We get more from KMOX virtual consumer editor Megan Lynch.
People aren't just viewing AI-generated porn, they're participating virtually.
They are now able to see themselves if they would like to, which does something different psychologically, right? If they want to put themselves in the content. People don't realize, but people are doing that, right? So they'll put themselves in this video with a celebrity or something. So that's going to do something different psychologically than seeing two strangers.
Omni Miranda Martone, founder and executive director of the Sexual Violence Prevention Association, is concerned about people who want a new thrill every time and how that could escalate to violent AI-created fantasies that shatter cultural norms.
Experts tell KMOX they're also concerned about how easy it is for kids and teens to access AI-generated sexual content. Learn more tomorrow morning at 8:10. From the business desk, sponsored by Krenz Financial Group, KFGadvisors.com. Two utilities serving Missouri and Illinois are merging. The boards of American Water and Essential Utilities, Inc. have approved a merger that's expected to close in early 2027. It'll retain the American Water name and be headquartered in New Jersey. American Water is the parent company of both Missouri and Illinois American Water, serving almost 2 million people in our region.
Remaining cloudy, cool and damp for the afternoon hours with a high of 58. Cloudy tonight. There can be a touch of drizzle, low 52. Cloudy, cool, damp tomorrow. A couple of showers. Best chance in the afternoon, high 58. That'll be followed by some rain tomorrow night. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Cloudy and drizzly, 52 degrees downtown. The weather sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
My best friend Jenny came over for coffee, said it's cold enough in here to play hockey. Well, my furnace broken, it's already late. Call Jerry Kelly because they're open till 8, jerrykelly.com. They're fast and they're good and they got it going on. Jerry Kelly.
Chris Raunchy, Amy Markscores, because life is too short for boring radio. 104.1 FM KMOX.
Every Monday at 11 o'clock, we talk to our friend, White House correspondent and co-author of the Morning Shots newsletter with The Bulwark. It is Andrew Egger, as we talk about all the fun stuff that's happening. And every single week, there's always something fun that's going on. And Andrew, a St. Louisan, is with us now on KMOX. How's it going, Andrew?
Hey, Chris and Amy, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on.
Well, thank you for being here yet again. Where do we start? Okay, let's start with this. We played last week a clip from Steve Bannon, who was at once a very close advisor of the president and still has some influence within the administration, though no official title at the moment. And it was him saying, basically, just book a third term. It's going to happen. They have a plan. And then the president was asked about that on Air Force One and just refuses to say no third term for me because there are only 2 terms and that's how this works. So how should we continue to take this, that he just refuses to say that he is not running for a third term?
Yeah, so there's a couple different ways of looking at this, right? I mean, one is that the president just sort of as a principle doesn't like to say out loud that there are things he isn't allowed to do, right? I mean, he likes to kind of keep all options open, whether he is sort of considering any given thing very seriously or not. There's also sort of like an element of sort of owning the libs to all of this, because of course, when the president openly speculates about sort of defying the constitutional 2-term limit that's placed on him, that obviously causes a lot of consternation from a lot of people out there, and so he kind of gets to have it both ways in terms of well, I was maybe he's just floating it, maybe he's a little more serious about this whole thing. What was interesting about that moment to me was that when guys like Steve Bannon talk about there being like a plan, like an actual sort of like loophole that they could in theory exploit, what they're usually talking about is the idea that somebody else could run for president with Trump as their vice presidential pick on the ticket. And that then, once they were elected, in theory, that other person, whether it's Marco Rubio or J.D. Vance or whoever, could resign and allow Donald Trump, as vice president to take over the role. There are some reasons why some people think, that could in theory be a loophole that would allow this to happen. But what was interesting is that Trump, that was the one thing he explicitly kind of ruled out. He sort of said, well, I don't really like the idea of running that particular play.
He called it too
which
cute
it was,
or
if it was
something,
going
right?
to happen. Yeah, exactly. That's what he said. And if it were going to happen, again, that's sort of like the thing that you hear in terms of these people. If they were actually serious about it, maybe that would be the play they would run. So that was interesting. I don't know 100% what to make of him seeming to rule that out while leaving the concept open. You'd think if he were leaving the concept open, he wouldn't be ruling that out, right? So that's kind of where it's all very strange, and that's I guess we'll see what the next thing he says about it is.
Last week, President Trump said an unnamed, quote, patriot donated $130 million to compensate military service members. And then it has since, that person has since been identified as Timothy Mellon, the grandson of businessman and former Treasury Secretary Andrew Mellon. Have we seen something like this before, where a private donor steps up to pay the military? Is the government taking the money? Are they allowed to take the money? What are the details in this situation?
Yeah, let me try to go those in order. No, we have not seen anything close to like this before. It's a very strange, unusual situation. Yes, the government seems to be taking the money. The Treasury Department has announced that it will accept that donation for this purpose. Whether they're allowed to is a completely different, totally untested, totally open question, right? I mean, these. You're allowed, just sort of if you want to get out your own checkbook, today and write a check to the U.S. Treasury, and they'll happily take however much money you want to do. It's not a frequently done thing or anything like that. But in terms of actually spending the money, under ordinary circumstances and under the Constitution, it's lawmakers who have to appropriate those funds to go out for whatever purpose, and then it's the executive branch that has to spend that money after that money has been appropriated, which is the whole problem with the shutdown, right? I mean, that's the whole thing that has ceased to happen, right? All of the current appropriations have run out. Congress has not yet passed any laws allowing any new money to go out, and so we're all kind of stuck, right? We're in this place that nobody wants to be in, where a ton of people who should be getting paid, who are continuing to have to do their jobs, lest various parts of the country just come screeching to a halt, like air traffic controllers or soldiers or various people who do more thankless bureaucratic government jobs, right? I mean, they're still on the job, but they're not being paid because Congress hasn't given them any money, and so we're in this situation where I guess it's like, well, wouldn't it be great if we could just keep on paying them, right? But ultimately, I mean. If what Donald Trump is saying is true, and he can kind of like just sort of wave his hand and cook the numbers a little bit and get this donation, or find other pots of money in the Pentagon budget to go to cover troop salaries, even if that's all stuff that we all definitely want to see happen and are glad to see happen, ultimately what that would suggest is that it's Donald Trump and not Congress who is the ultimate arbiter of what gets spent on what. So there are going to be, I guess I don't know if for sure if there are going to be legal challenges to this specific thing. You would sort of wonder who would have standing to sue, who would be explicitly harmed. I guess Congress collectively could sue. There have been times when lawmakers have tried to sue Trump over one or another sort of like stepping on their toes sort of move that he's made, where he has tried to kind of accrue these sorts of spending decisions to himself, to the office of the presidency. We haven't seen anything like that yet. Maybe the shutdown will end soon and it'll all be kind of moot, but it's very strange, and it's very sort of constitutionally dubious for these reasons.
Where do we stand on the trade talks with Canada?
Well, these are all so funny. Like anytime Trump, and this happens a lot these days, he will kind of like get into a snit with somebody or with some country over something that happens, and he will announce new tariffs, right? We saw this with China a couple of weeks ago. He was unhappy that they are putting export controls on rare earths. I think we talked about this last week, actually. And so he announced like 100% new tariff on China. That one, he announced it and then he never unannounced it, but it sort of has faded. Nobody seems to think it's actually going to go into play which I guess that one's just kind of gone. The one he has announced now on Canada, which follows the government of Ontario airing that ad of Ronald Reagan talking about tariffs during the World Series and a couple of other times. Ronald Reagan saying not so nice things about tariffs. He was unhappy about that ad. He announced that a new 10% tariff was going to go into effect against Canada based on that tariff. And he also said that all trade negotiations with Canada are off for the time being on account of that ad. So we're all sort of in the wait and see period where it's like, okay, I guess this doesn't actually become official until customs officials actually start collecting that duty at the border, and we'll see. But we've heard no word from the White House that there's been any easing up on that. And of course, the government of Ontario has not stopped running that ad that Trump doesn't like. So it doesn't seem like there's been any sort of a thaw on that front either.
Andrew, I think we're at 10 plus drug boats blown up now. I guess the legality, constitutionality of that approach to trying to stop illegal drug smuggling into our country, where do we stand with that?
Yeah, I mean, where we stand is where we stand with a lot of things right now, which is that, Republicans rank and file in Congress who could, in theory, sort of flex their muscles and say, hey, look, it's up to us, not up to you to declare a war. It's up to us, not to you to create the conditions under which this sort of more indiscriminate kinetic force is acceptable or used. A lot of them just sort of seem either happy to go along with it because it's Trump and they're people like Trump, or just because they don't want to be seen as sticking up for these people who may be smuggling drugs into the country. There's kind of this sense that Trump is the one who's sort of doing the dirty work and getting that done. And obviously, if the people in these boats are smuggling drugs into the country, it's not like they make particularly sympathetic figures. Mm-hmm. On the other hand, you have guys like Kentucky Senator Rand Paul, who's on the more libertarian side of things. Likes to talk about the Constitution a lot, and he has been clanging a bell, for weeks now, basically saying we have no evidence that these people are the White House says they are. Nobody has had to come forward and actually been able to kick the tires on their claims about these boats, that these are people bringing drugs into the country, and nobody has authorized the president to go above and beyond the ordinary criminal penalties that we have in our laws for smuggling drugs, for bringing in drugs. I mean, these are things that have, recommended prison sentences and things like this. They are not, they don't carry a sentence of death. And a thing that Rand Paul has said, repeatedly is he's made the comparison to countries like China and Iran that sort of indiscriminately, crack down again with lethal force on people who are involved in the manufacture and transport of illegal drugs. And he has said, look, if Donald Trump actually wants to treat these guys like terrorist organizations, he wants us to actively sort of declare war on anybody who is bringing drugs into this country, he should come to Congress and ask us to declare war, because again, that's a congressional power. Again, obviously, this is not the first time that a president of the United States has sort of trampled on those sorts of congressional authorities when it comes to, doing random strikes on people that we are sort of quasi at war with. In general, that's a decades old story. And so and there have been people like Rand Paul sort of making the case all along that that's not a great status quo, that we shouldn't let presidents just sort of have this sort of indiscriminate authority to treat any kind of random group of people as basically terrorists, basically threats, nuke them out of the sky. So that's kind of where we're at with this, where it is sort of precedented in that way, but not at all when it comes to the specific action of going after these drug boats, alleged drug boats.
Sign up for the Morning Shots newsletter for the Bulwark. It is Andrew Egger with us every Monday. We appreciate you again, my friend.
Thanks, guys.
Andrew Egger from St. Louis with the Bulwark. He is the White House correspondent there. Amy Marks-Kors and Chris Ranji. We've got a lot of stuff locally we want to talk about, including the Boeing strike and press conference, Cardinal Ritter press conference that is coming up here. There was an incident that occurred with the football team there. And we're going to talk about that with Maria Kina in from the KMOX newsroom. That is next on KMOX.
Have you recently lost a loved one and now you're handling their estate? Losing someone close to you is never easy. And if you've been named the executor or trustee, it's an honor, but you're probably feeling the weight of both grief and responsibility. At Jansky Law, they understand how overwhelming this process can be. Whether you're dealing with probate or trust administration, there are many legal steps involved. And in Missouri, an attorney is required for all probate matters. Even with a trust, the process is just as complex. Jansky Law is there to do the steps for you. With decades of experience, let them handle things with compassion and precision so you can focus on what really matters, your family and healing. Call Jansky Law at 314-881-6141 or online at janskylaw.com. That's spelled with a J, Jansky law.com. Jansky law.com. Jansky Law. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisement.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-242-3131. 800-242-3131.
If you're still waiting for a sign, here's another one. At California Psychics, we reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work for us. So we only connect you with the best. That's how we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And right now, new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. If that's not a sign, I don't know what is. Dramatic sound effect incoming. Experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Missouri can count on.
It's the most inspiring night in sports, the Musial Awards at Stiefel Theater. You can be in the audience for this nationally televised event from St. Louis. Named for Stan the Man, the Musial Awards celebrate those who uplift us through their extraordinary sportsmanship. Experience the remarkable moments and people that make this an event like no other. The Musial Awards, presented by Maryville University, Saturday, November 22nd. Tickets at musialawards.com.
Renewal by Andersen is the #1 window and door brand for customer service. Schedule your free inspection today. Just dial pound 250 on your phone and say the keyword windows. That's pound 250 keyword windows, or head to rbastl.com.
Hey guys, Kevin Wheeler here for 213 Complex, which is available at Supplement Superstores. A 213 Complex is simply the best all-natural weight loss supplement that you will find on the marketplace anywhere. First thing that it does, and this is the most important, is that it gets your metabolism working at optimal levels. Like 80% of the population has a metabolism that isn't working at that level, and 213 Complex gets you there. Now, it's not like something you're going to feel in the moment, but you're going to feel the results because you pull the belt and it's a little tighter. I found that out a couple of weeks ago, and it's easier to pull to those tighter belt notches because you're losing the weight. And of course, on top of the metabolism boost, you're going to get help with those cravings every day. You're going to get all day focused energy, no crash at the end of the day that comes with those energy drinks. And you're going to get lower cortisol levels, which can help with stress and sleep. And look, losing weight's not easy. If it was, everybody would be thin, but 213 Complex is the help that you can need to get a jump on the holidays or on the new year, whatever you like. Just go to Supplement Superstores, tell them Kevin Wheeler sent you in. They'll knock 30% off 213 Complex, and you can find your location at supplementsuperstores.com.
Total Information AM, weekdays 5 to 9 on the voice of St. Louis, 104.1 FM, KMOX. Now, Chris and Amy visit with the KMOX newsroom.
Maria Kina, anchor and reporter here at KMOX, is in with us right now. The Boeing strike continues, and the machinists have rejected yet another offer. So where do we stand now? And it looks like we're kind of far apart.
We're very far apart. This is the fourth offer that Boeing has made.
And it doesn't really seem like they're coming in with anything different. They addressed a few things, but I think the union is still very concerned that they have not addressed the 401 issue. And it seems to me the big deal is they want something comparable to what South Carolina received, which is a non-union shop, and the Northwest Pacific, which is IAM. And they want something comparable to those pay rates. And I, when you look at the Northwest and the cost of living up there, I don't know that will translate here to St. Louis, and they'll go for that.
What does that mean for our area then right now with this ongoing strike?
Well, obviously there's delays that are going on. I mean, November the 4th, it'll be 3 months since the strike started. So they've even talked about they're going to have to go back and do some training because, you've been away from it that long. Wow. So the company is saying, Boeing is saying that they're going to go to their contingency plan as planned. Well, they said that before, and that seemed to be where they were going to start hiring replacements. Permanent replacements, and I'm assuming that's what's going to happen again. That's what Boeing's saying.
So if they've said it before, but they haven't started that yet, when would they start that? When would they start hiring new people to just replace those who are striking?
I suspect that since there is no deal on the table, nothing being talked about, there has not been any, like we're going to meet on Tuesday or Wednesday again to sit down and hash this out. That hasn't happened. So this just appears to be a stalemate. And I don't think that either side is even remotely close to one another.
So I know that Boeing had just landed some big government contracts. Are we in danger of losing those contracts? Like St. Louis in danger of losing that production?
Well, no, but you're certainly delayed from starting to make the aircraft. And, that one, I forget what it was. They moved it out of here anyhow, which was not strike related.
Okay.
So it's very interesting to see what's going to happen here because I don't know what the resolution is.
So Maria Kina, we don't know if there are talks planned yet.
We do not. According to yesterday when they voted and when the union, when the Boeing responded.
And they just barely rejected this offer,
it was
correct?
only 51.49%. And that's something the company talked about. Boeing in their release, which was a short release, they said, this is exactly what they said. The union statement is misleading since the vote failed by the slimmest of margins, 51 to 49%. With the close result and the increased interest we're hearing from teammates who want to cross the picket line, it's clear many understand the value of our offer.
Well, it seems like there might be some movement there, especially if the vote is that close. You are also about to go cover a press conference. There is a very well-known attorney representing Cardinal Ritter after the football team earlier this month, October 3rd. There was an incident. They played on the road and the team was pepper sprayed on the field after the game. And I've seen video of it. Didn't look like much was going on. There was a little bit of a scuffle. It didn't seem like pepper spray was necessary. So what are we expecting today?
Well, 23 players, families have retained Mr. Crump. Ben Crump is going to represent them. Also, there's a firm out of Ohio where they're also bringing in lawyers as well. So because this happened in Ohio, they were playing, I think it's Massillon?
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce that.
I'm not sure how to pronounce it either. But apparently, they're very concerned that the school, I'm talking about Massillon now, has made no attempt to contact the family or the students, make any kind of an apology or anything. My question is, I haven't heard anything from Cardinal Ritter as to what their response is to this. So it'll be interesting to see. That's one of the questions I want to ask Mr. Crump.
And just people probably know who he is, but if the name just sounds familiar, Ben Crump represented Michael Brown, Trayvon Martin, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, Tyree Nichols. So some of the highest profile cases our country has seen in the past few years. Attorney Ben Crump has been a representative.
Yeah, he's a very renowned civil rights attorney and also personal injury attorney.
Yeah.
So when a family calls that Mr. Crump in, it's kind of a big to-do.
So Cardinal Ritter has given no statement on this.
I have
so
not
far?
seen one from Cardinal Ritter.
It's the whole thing is fascinating, and I'm sure that you've seen the video by now. It just, it seemed like an overreaction by security on the field at the time to use pepper spray. I mean, there was a post-game scuffle. You've seen that happen, but there weren't punches thrown. It didn't look like, couldn't really tell much, but it just seemed like a dramatic overreaction by the people who work there. So I wonder what the outcome could possibly be next.
Well, and one of the things that Ben Crump said was the opposing team was not pepper sprayed.
It was
None
just
of their
Cardinal
coaches-
Ritter.
Right. It
yes.
was just Cardinal Ritter that was.
Yeah, and I think again, as you mentioned, the police department, the other school, no one is really talking at all.
No.
But then you also mentioned that Cardinal Ritter has not, and I don't know if that has to do with legal issues where you have to be careful if you make a statement or don't make a statement. But at the very least, you would expect the police department involved to say, well, our officers, we support our officers. They were doing their duty, or they were trying to protect kids, but there's just been nothing.
Nothing. I mean, when I saw the release yesterday come in, I didn't even know about it. I
Yeah.
hadn't heard about it. So I had to look it up to see what it was all about. And I thought, why isn't this getting more attention? And it wouldn't have had the family not retained his counsel.
So press conference coming up here at noon.
Yes.
Right. And you'll be covering it and you'll be keeping us updated on what happens
I
there.
will.
Thank you, Maria. You drew a nice jack-o'-lantern on your paper.
You like
I like
him?
that. Yeah.
You like him?
She drew a pumpkin, a cat, and a witch.
In the green room, while she was in the green room.
While she was
before
waiting.
coming
That's
on.
Right,
Yeah,
in the green room, which is orange for Halloween coming up.
that's right.
We
Yeah.
changed the color.
Thank you, Maria.
See you guys.
Maria Kina from the KMOX newsroom on the way to a press conference. Don't drive quick. Just drive safely. Okay, be very, very careful. It's Chris and Amy on 104.1 FM KMOX. We still have tickets to give away to see Joe Bonamassa. You know what? We might do that. How about now? Caller number what, Amy?
6.
6?
Yep.
To the contest line at 314-955-1120. 314-955-1120. And if you win those tickets and you're caller 6, you get to go see Joe Bonamassa. He is a highly regarded. Apparently, he's really good at playing the guitar.
Apparently, he's played guitar before.
And he'll be at Stiefel Theater November 26th. Good luck to you. It's Chris and Amy on KMOX.
Hey guys, Dave Glover here from the Dave Glover Show. So, what is my show? My show is 4 different people living 4 different lives, all coming together every day between 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. to talk about life, actual life, not so much headlines or did you see what Trump did today or XYZ. Never predictable because I never know what I'm going to talk about from one segment to the next. So it truly is unique and unpredictable. Join us.
104.1 FM KMOX.
I'm Tom Ackerman with this month's Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight. We are discussing breast cancer with Dr. Debbie Bennett.
It makes a big difference who's actually interpreting the mammogram images that you get. We make sure that we have an expert team of breast radiologists that specialize in reading mammograms to be sure that we can get you the most accurate read possible.
Thanks to Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. For more information, visit siteman.wustl.edu.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
Currently, it is 51 degrees and a little spritzy out there. A few morning showers. Otherwise, just cloudy. A high of 58 tonight. Overcast with maybe a drizzle here or there. A low of 52.
This report is sponsored by McKelvey Homes.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan of McKelvey Homes. Have you always wished for a brand new home in an established neighborhood? Select one of our move-in ready custom homes throughout St. Louis, or we will build on your lot. Visit McKelveyhomes.com and move up to McKelvey.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-242-3131. 800-242-3131.
Nobody had to tell your grandparents not to drive while using their typewriters. Why should it be any different for us kids and our cell phones? Distracted driving was the cause of more than 3,000 deaths in 2022. Come on, we're smarter than this. Let's put down the phones and focus on the roads. Drive safe, everybody.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
In St. Louis, the weather can change in an instant. One day, you're under a thunderstorm warning. The next, it's an ice storm. Stay prepared for whatever Mother Nature throws your way. When weather threatens, the KMOX Storm Center has expert forecasts and live reports, here to keep you safe and informed. Don't get caught off guard. Know your weather. The KMOX Storm Center, sponsored by
Saliga Heating and Cooling. Are you an HR manager, business owner, or leader looking to retain your best people? Nearly 1 in 4 employees is caring for an aging loved one, a challenge that often leads to distraction, absenteeism, and costly turnover. The CARES program from Age Smart Community Resources connects your employees to expert caregiver support, helping them stay focused and productive at work. Discover how CARES can boost retention, improve ROI, and cut costs for your business. Visit hmart.org or call 618-222-2561. Proudly serving 7 counties in Southwest Illinois.
Chris and Amy now. The Dave Glover Show at 1 on the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Congratulations, Steve in Maryland Heights. Steve is going to go see.
Why are you being mean to him?
I don't know, because he's taking stuff from us, taking tickets for Joe Bonamassa.
We gave the tickets.
Oh, it was kindness. Was it an act of kindness? A Jerry Kelly heating, air conditioning, electrical, and plumbing act of kindness?
Yes, it was.
Wow. All right. We already fulfilled our act of kindness today with Madeline Hubbs and Erica Pfeiffer coming in from Rake and Jordan. It was them. It was them doing the act of kindness. We didn't do anything.
You highlighted someone who is superior. We highlighted someone who is superior to us.
Right. So they did a really nice thing and continue to do really good work.
And thank you again for the encouragement from Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing, and maybe a service to be named later. We're not sure. We can
Gravedigger?
Well, because it's Halloween.
Yes.
Ghost hunting.
Ghost hunting.
Oh, do you think Jerry Kelly's interested in ghost hunting?
We'll have to ask.
We'll find out.
You can ask him when you call him. Actually, don't do that unless you just say, "Hey, Amy, I heard you on Amy and Chris." At any rate, this I'm going to make sure everybody knows this is what it's officially called, quote unquote, raw dogging boredom.
Okay.
Yeah, because you've heard about this really stupid trend on TikTok where guys were on long flights.
Just staring at the back of the seat in front of them.
At the back of the seat, yes.
It's called raw dogging a flight.
Yes, which, by the way, don't Google that, especially not on a work computer.
Okay, well, you
don't Google it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't. Well, I'm just saying because I did.
You just discovered what that meant.
No, I knew what it meant, but
no,
I
you
think,
didn't.
Yes, I did, but I think like when I Googled it, I thought the boredom or the flights, but that's not the first thing that comes up. Okay, at any rate, there is a new trend among Gen Zers.
Utes.
It's called raw dogging boredom.
Oh.
And they try to do it for 15 minutes a day. So, ironically, this boredom was filmed on a TikTok reel that went viral. Kate, I should say, is a 19-year-old college student. And as the story notes, she does normal things. She attends class, she studies, works, exercises, and hangs out with her boyfriend. She's got a TikTok following. So she got over 10 million people to watch a video where she was raw dogging boredom, which was just her sitting on the floor of her bedroom, staring at nothing. No music, no screens other than the screen, filming her.
Yeah, she's just leaning up against her nightstand, staring straight ahead at nothing.
Yes. And it's for Gen Zers who are desperate to get off their phone. They talk about this phenomenon, which I've experienced myself, which I hate. You can't even watch a TV show or a movie without looking at your phone. And that's a habit. I mean, my phone, I look at it while I'm watching another show, and it bothers me because I know that I'm starting to really lose my ability to concentrate and focus. But yeah, so these Gen Zers are trying to, for 15 minutes a day, just be bored and just sit there in the silence. And one, I guess you could take it as a positive that kids these days, the youths, are trying to get off of their phones. Or two, you could look at it as sad that it is considered almost a freak occurrence to be able to sit quietly without being entertained by a screen or a phone. I feel like I'm pretty good at being bored or just sitting in silence or being by myself. I can actually do that.
There are a lot of benefits to doing absolutely nothing psychologically. There's been a lot of studying of this, that with the psychology and, neuroscience looking into this, that people who do this they tend to be better at problem solving because they actually think. When you're sitting there doing nothing, you're not reading, your attention is not taken by a TV or by your phone, you're scrolling and you're looking at something else. You actually have the ability to sit and think about maybe some things that are going on with you, and you can start to problem solve, which is very difficult to do if your attention is divided. And that's just one of the benefits that you have from doing nothing sometimes. And we are so stimulated and overstimulated. We have so many things to look at, so many things to read, that we never just sit and look and think. We never do that anymore.
Right.
And that includes adults. It's not just Gen Z.
Yeah. Phones have broken all of our brains. Remember when, and this is, I know it's TMI, when you were younger and you were in the bathroom, ever read the back of a shampoo bottle?
Yeah, I've done that.
We've all done that.
Yeah, right.
Remember when bathroom readers were a thing? Like the toilet readers, like you could read a book and it was just a book of fun facts. My friend was in one of those bathroom readers. He blew up a cannon on Mizzou, on a fraternity. One of the old, Civil War cannons blew up. At any rate, it's interesting because when I'm watching TV, I'm almost more inclined to look at my phone than when I'm intentionally just disconnecting. And what I mean is I like going on a walk without any music, without bringing my phone. When I run, I do not like to run with music. If it's certain runs, if I'm trying to double down on work and listen to a political podcast, sure, I'll do that. But I don't listen to music. I like running. Like all my long runs on the weekend, I don't listen to anything. I'm just silent. It's by myself. Obviously, I'm moving. So you could say that that's somehow cheating because you're still moving. But I had to get this one is the one that stood out to me the most. I had to get my hair done and I had to wait and I had to get it colored and I had to get it cut and so forth. And for whatever reason, it took like 6 hours. I was in the chair for 6 hours. I never looked at my phone. There are no TVs in the salon. The only music they had was kind of that generic, kind of clubby type music, like almost like you're shopping at the mall, right?
Yeah,
just
right.
salon music, but no TVs, no phones. And I was fine. It was almost like I was cleansing my brain. I just sat there and I don't know how, but I wasn't bored. I just sat there.
Yeah.
It felt like a relief.
It's so there's a stress relief element to it. There is also the ability to be more creative when you're just doing nothing and you have time to think. And some of the best ideas you ever come up with are when you're doing absolutely nothing. And we had this conversation, maybe a month or two ago, about how I noticed, I think it was a couple of months, that I just sometimes will be driving and 15, 20 minutes go by or 2 hours and I realize I have not listened to anything. I've just been driving and
we
staring
gave
straight
you
ahead.
a lot of crap for it. A lot of crap.
There are a lot of benefits to it, like your mental health and getting time to think and not be just completely inundated with stimulus all the time. There are good benefits to it. And again, time to think when you don't usually give yourself time to do it. People don't so much anymore because they're constantly looking for stimulus. You don't have time to just sit there and be with your thoughts.
Yeah.
And there's a huge benefit to that.
There really is. And some people too, some people struggle with being alone or struggle with being quiet.
Yeah.
And I understand that. I don't know if you guys feel this way. And maybe it's just because I've been solo for so long that I am so used to being solo that I don't give it a second thought, whether it's going to dinner, going to lunch, going to weddings. I've never just brought a date to a wedding. I've brought my sister a couple of times, but I've never just brought a date to a wedding. And last night, the old school Frasier was on. Yep. And basically the whole episode, was focused on, like, he went to dinner by himself because his date canceled, and he was just so self-conscious about being at this restaurant by himself, and various mishaps highlighted the fact that he was alone, and he's like, oh my gosh, I can't be alone. Is that stigma kind of gone? Is it different now? Because I remember people talking about 20 years ago, oh, you know, going to dinner, do you go to dinner by yourself? But man, I do it so much that I wouldn't give it a second thought.
Didn't we play
Joe Flacco?
Yeah, it was Joe Flacco last week.
Yeah, we just did.
Yeah, it was Joe Flacco last week who said, and he's the quarterback of the Cincinnati Bengals now, and he was talking about, I think, his family and not being around his family, and then, you know, he used to look at people who were out to dinner by themselves, you know, having a beer, watching sports or something, and he felt sorry for that person. And now he's like, man, that guy was in heaven.
I know.
That guy was in heaven. He was just having time to himself. And it is super important. It's really funny because on the text line, and you can send messages to the show, 314-436-7900, like multiple people in a row say, it's called meditating, Gen Zers. It's been around for centuries. Everybody is talking about meditation here.
But I think this is even different, though, because meditation is intentional.
Yes.
Meditation is definitely intentional, and there are different ways to meditate and different things to meditate on. But this is just looking around your room, observing your room, or even I went to Nudo. I got some chicken pho by myself, and I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to flip my phone over, put it away, not look at my phone, and just not stare at people, but just kind of observe my surroundings. So that's
Taking
not
it
meditation, right? It's not meditation, though.
Right.
I was just taking it in.
There is a difference between the two things. And they both have psychological benefits, obviously. But, you know, just giving yourself time to think is so important. And we, again, even adults do this. Even adults are guilty of it. I'm
so guilty of it.
Constantly.
I can't like do dishes without having music on in the background. Like, I've got 5 minutes, might as well put on a song, whatever. But then I think, like, why do I need to fill every single waking moment with media, with a podcast, with a song? Can't I just do the dishes for 5 minutes and think?
Yeah.
God forbid I have a thought of my own. I need to fill my thought. I need to fill my head with other people's thoughts and podcasts and music and things like that. It's okay to have time to yourself.
We're actually not built to be constantly bombarded with stimulus.
Oh,
We're
Raj,
not built that way.
this is such a good point, because with smartphones, we do focus on the youth, which we should, because adults, we unleashed this technology on our kids. We basically unleashed a drug on them, right? And we are telling them, hey, don't be addicted to your phones or this drug. Here's this drug. And we kept giving it to them. So yes, adults need to take responsibility. We need to start regulating the phone use more. But it's not just kids who are affected, because parents are getting 500 messages a day from football practice, every soccer coach update, every grade, because now, you know, everything's online. So if you have 2, 3, 4 kids, picture every grade, every assignment for every class blowing up your phone. Every soccer practice or football practice or basketball practice notification, theater class, whatever it may be. Parents' phones are blowing up. And there was a psychologist who said, adults, no human was supposed to constantly keep at the forefront of their mind every single person's schedule and activity and grade. We used to have paper calendars. You'd go and you'd look at your paper calendar. But now, and we're constantly aware of way too many things. We should not constantly be getting notifications.
A listener writes in, that's why I like deer hunting, sitting up in a tree stand, listening to the wind blow, the birds sing every now and then deer might come by. It's peace and quiet.
Yeah.
Until the blammo!
That's what the deer's thinking.
Yeah. The deer never sees.
I love standing in the woods.
Deer never sees it coming, though.
Well, that's why I
never see it coming.
I'm pro hunter, because I know they're necessary for conservation, right? So I totally get it. Not hunting elephants and things like that, but I get that you do need, the conservation department needs deer hunters and all that. I personally just couldn't do it. But the deer doesn't know it's a game.
No,
the deer doesn't know you're playing.
Deer are pretty stupid, by the way. They're really stupid.
They're pretty dumb.
They're so dumb.
They're so dumb, and they're dangerous because they will run into your car.
I've hit a deer.
My brother got hit by a deer.
Didn't look both ways. Ran right across I-55.
They're not smart.
Stupid,
My brother's
idiot deer.
rear passenger door just dented in by a deer. And even the insurance company was like, how does your rear passenger door get hit by a deer? It's like, because the deer ran into it.
Just runs right into it. Stupid idiots.
They're not very smart. So that's why I am pro deer hunter, even though I don't go after the deer myself.
Coming up December 1st, sports betting will be legal in the state of Missouri. It's been a long time coming. It has finally passed, and it is about to become reality here. And FanDuel is America's #1 sports book. You're finally going to be able to bet on all your favorite teams and all your favorite sports. Football will be going on, so it's a great time of year. Basketball, hockey, and with FanDuel, tons of ways to get in on the action. You can bet each individual game, like bet the totals. You can bet the money line. You can bet futures too, like who's going to win the championship, who's going to win the division, who will be rookie of the year. All of those bets are available on FanDuel, and that includes live betting, which is a really cool newer feature that's been happening over the last several years, where you can bet while the game is going on who's going to score the next touchdown, for example, or the touchdown after that, and so on and so forth. So even though it is not legal here in Missouri for just over a month, we are just over a month away from that, you can still download the app at fanduel.com/Missouri. So you can just kind of get familiar with it and see how it works, learn the interface, and then you'll be ready to go on December 1st in Missouri. See for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. FanDuel, play your game. 21 and over and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The DGS Halloween show is back, and you can hear it first on Friday, October 31st, starting at 4 p.m. Hear all about their ghost hunting experience and all the thrills and chills the show experienced this year. And to check out the ghost adventures from the past 20 years, head to KMOX.com/Halloween. The DGS Halloween Show, presented by Lore Wine and Spirits. Try Ghost Tequila today, the perfect spicy spirit to bring your Halloween celebrations to the next level.
I'm Dave Glover, and I see clearly now thanks to the doctors, Dr. Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andy Royer. You can too. Just go to youridoc.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Nobody had to tell your grandparents not to drive while using their typewriters. Why should it be any different for us kids and our cell phones? Distracted driving was the cause of more than 3,000 deaths in 2022. Come on, we're smarter than this. Let's put down the phones and focus on the roads. Drive safe, everybody.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Why should you hire America's largest injury law firm for your case? There's lots of reasons. Just like there's a reason millions of people called us last year in their time of need. When it comes to fighting for justice and compensation, millions of people across the country trust us to go to battle for them. We became the largest injury law firm in the world for a reason. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Injured? Dial #law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Stock up with big fall savings at Menards. Winterize with RV and Marine antifreeze and automotive antifreeze on sale now. Save big on an 8-pack of 100-watt or 12-pack of 60-watt LED light bulbs. Protect your home and family with great sale prices on select security lights and smoke alarms. Plus, stay warm with a fantastic selection of space heaters on sale. Check out Menards' weekly flyer for all the great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
It's the Medicare Advantage annual enrollment period, and Humana knows not everyone has the same needs when picking a Medicare Advantage plan.
Now that I'm retired, I want to enjoy the life I've worked hard to build. So I want a plan that covers me when I'm traveling the country.
Humana has a plan for that.
As a veteran, I want a plan that fills in the gaps my VA coverage doesn't provide, like dental care.
Humana has a plan for that.
I feel good about my health. I just want care and coverage with predictable costs. No surprises.
Humana has a plan for that. With a Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you get coverage and benefits that focus on what matters most to you. Learn more at gethumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO and PPO organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine.
Blues play tonight at 6 o'clock against Pittsburgh, and you're not going to like this, Amy, but Jim Montgomery telling reporters that Robert Thomas and Jake Neighbors out. They will not play. They have injuries and are day-to-day.
That's not good.
So,
yeah, I don't know
win.
what happened to Robert Thomas. Jake Neighbors did finish that game, but at one point, he went very awkwardly into the boards. He blocked a shot right off his knee and then went skate blade first into the board. So I don't know which one hurt him more, but he finished that game. So, yeah, that is not good at all. Okay. Also, I'll join Gas House Gang at 12:30 today.
Oh, yeah,
to
you
talk
are with
more
us.
Blues hockey.
Tom Ackerman and me, Chris Ranji, we get started with you at 12 o'clock talking sports and stuff.
Okay, I have Halloween trivia for Matthew.
Yes.
All right, Matthew, here is your Halloween trivia question. What are the top 2 highest grossing horror movies of all time?
Oh my gosh. Are they franchises?
I would say one. No, I would say no. No, it's not.
It either is or they
Well,
are.
I don't
not.
know if one is.
Are there multiple?
I don't know if one is. The second one is not. Number 2
Okay.
is not a franchise. Number 1, I don't think it is, but it's a well-known author.
So I'd say it's got to be a Stephen King related movie. I will say
It.
I was going to say The Shining, but I think It probably more popular as a movie.
Yep.
I don't know.
So is that your guess for the first one?
My guess is It.
I'll go with It.
For number 1, It is the number 1 grossing horror movie of all time.
It.
What is?
It
Well,
is.
it is now becoming a franchise because there are multiple
That's
iterations,
why I
and
didn't
there's
know. That's
there
why I
is
didn't know.
a new one out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dairy something.
It's a new TV show. Welcome to Dairy.
Welcome to Dairy. That's what it
So
is.
if I hadn't given you the author, if I hadn't sent a well-known author,
I probably would not have gotten that. No.
Yeah.
So there's one more too.
So I was fair that I didn't know if it was a franchise or not, because it feels kind of like it's turning, but it's not really. It's not like the Saw movies.
Yeah.
Okay. What is number 2? It is not a franchise. And I feel like you're not going to get it.
What decade?
The Birds.
Okay.
Is it
Not the
Alfred
Birds.
Hitchcock?
It is not Alfred Hitchcock. Let me tell you this. I didn't know it was a horror movie. If that is a hint at all.
Oh, The Notebook.
Yes. No, it's not The Notebook.
People fall in love and then die in the same bed.
Well,
So
Spoiler
sad.
alert.
Could you say the
They die?
Titanic is there's horror elements because it's scary?
not the Titanic.
I don't know. I wouldn't know it was a horror movie.
You guys might know it's a horror. Let me just say this. It's not a
Toy Story.
It's not a gross chop 'em up
Yeah,
horror
that's
movie.
A gross chop.
It's like a thriller, I bet. It's a psychological thriller.
Yes, it is. It's a psychological thriller.
Silence of the Lambs.
Oh.
No,
I would have said that too.
It's a great one. If you haven't seen it, see
I'll
it.
never see it. I
Sixth
say don't.
Sense.
That's right.
Yeah.
Is it Sixth Sense?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
So number 1 is It. Number 2 is The Sixth Sense.
And you didn't know that was
Horror.
You didn't know.
I guess I thought it was like thriller.
I
But you
would
didn't
consider that horror.
But everybody knew the spoiler, and you didn't. Was that a thing?
Yeah, Nate Bargatze and his special was the one that ruined it for me. He goes, "Sorry, it's been 20 years, but he was dead the whole time." And I was like,
Oh.
"Was he really?"
You're the only person who did
I
not
was the
know
only
that.
person in the world. I think that's funny. We need to get him on the show just so I can tell Nate Bargatze he actually ruined The Sixth Sense.
One
for
of
me.
my favorite shows, as you know, is It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. They've had a terrific run, and one of their jokes about it is the joke is they're all very stupid on the
Mhm,
show. All the
mhm.
people are stupid, and they're talking about making a movie and that they want to put in an M. Night Shyamalan twist at the end.
Yeah.
And Charlie, the stupidest one, says, "Yeah, like in that movie, The Sixth Sense, you find out at the end of the movie that was Bruce Willis the whole time." Like, no, that's not the twist, Charlie. Sixth Sense is really good, actually.
It was Bruce Willis the whole time.
It's a great bit. So The Sixth Sense, that's interesting. I never would have thought that. M. Night has 2 good movies and the rest of them suspect.
What are the 2?
Oh, I think Signs is really good.
I've seen Signs.
Signs is really good.
The Village is good.
Ew.
You know what? I haven't seen that one. I don't think.
It's kind of horror thriller. Yeah.
Everybody keeps telling me it sucks, and so I should probably stop trusting people.
It's good.
I think
Okay.
the worst horror is the end of this show.
Why? Because you're sad that it's over?
Yeah.
Don't be sad that it's over. Just be happy that it happened. And that you get to come back tomorrow at 9, Amy.
I get to come back in half an hour.
Yeah, you come back in half an hour talking Blues hockey. The Gas House Gang is coming up. Tom Ackerman, Chris Ranji, that's me. But if you missed this show or anything else on it, on the Odyssey app, iHeart app, wherever you get your podcasts, go do it. We'll be back tomorrow, 9 o'clock. Chris and Amy, KMOX.